up, Instagram? Dirt Life Show live in Louisiana with the S3 boys. We're letting the intro roll over here on Facebook and YouTube. You guys can go check it out through those channels as well. But give us a little bit. My boy Dustin Jones over here, Mr. Mal. What's up, boys? What's up, my man? So we're going to let this intro play. It'll be about a minute or so. We're going to get everything lined up, and we'll start talking. So you guys are more than welcome to start popping on, thinking about your questions that you're going to ask these boys. Looks like Logan's already joining us.
Oh, I thought you had the flu, Logan. You weren't at work today, but all of a sudden you're on Instagram and immediately watching.
Everybody on his deathbed just looking at his phone.
Yeah.
That's all it works.
Yeah. Just laying naked on the couch watching Instagram and what he's doing. Yeah. Ashley Murray will come in.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 124 of the Dirt Life Show, live at S3 Powersports in Shreveport, Louisiana, man.
Bringing it down to Louisiana.
Woo-wee. I'm your host, Georgie Hamill, and we have some fantastic guests joining us today. Obviously, my far left, we got Dustin Jones. In the middle, we got the most important man of the hour, Mr. Mal.
That's true story.
How you boys doing today? Have you been on the podcast?
I feel cold special now, right? Which is shocking because he owns the podcast. And he's never even been on it. Yeah. He owns the podcast. This is the first time to do one.
Yeah, exactly. We had a couple people say they can barely hear us. Hey, turn up your volume, Josh.
Yeah, turn it up.
I can hear it good. Yeah, I can hear it good too. So let me see if I can give a little bit more audio. There we go. We got it fully cranked now, Josh. So hopefully it helps out a little bit here. Man, we got another guy. I wonder what.
I don't about half good for you.
Hidden and great to do. Let's see. We'll unplug it and plug it back in. See if that helps a little bit there.
Somebody give us a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yeah, let us know. Almost sounds like something else plugged in. Oh, maybe it is. Let's see here. We've been running a real tight ship over here, Josh.
Man, if y'all saw all these wires going every which direction, can you hear it, Josh?
Yeah, let us know if you can hear more now, Josh.
You need to listen on your phone so you can hear.
Replugged it back in. It might be this little audio piece. Dude, these things with Instagram, it's like so difficult.
You
can hear it good now. All right, so hopefully it's good now, guys. Welcome to episode 124 of the Dirt Life Show. We really appreciate you guys joining us. Let us know what kind of stuff you guys want to talk about with all the guys here at S3 Powersports. Logan, unfortunately, didn't make it to work today. I don't know, he's slacking.
Yeah, he said he was sick, wasn't at work, but now he's on Instagram just like that. Logan, I'm going to need an explanation in the morning. Actually, you know what? Just put your explanation up where everybody can see it, why you wasn't at work, but you're on Instagram watching this.
Hey, all joking aside, though, we're going to talk about some fun stuff today.
I'm pumped, dude. I'm happy to just have you down here. We've been trying to get you down here for a year or two now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny, though, is I've been looking for tacos. Can't find any.
Well, you're in Louisiana, so if you're looking for crawfish and alligator bites, you can find that.
Uh-oh. Now we're getting scared.
Tacos, tougher to find.
So like I said before, my name's Georgie Hamill. This is the Dirt Life Show, episode 124, and we're at S3 Powersports live in Shreveport, Louisiana. Let me see here. We're going to give our sponsors a little bit of love. We share some mutual sponsors, dude.
We do. We really do.
All right. How about you give some love to one of our mutual sponsors, KMC?
Let's just hit KMC with the baddest wheels in the world. And I only know this is because I have to run them. No, I choose to run them.
Yep.
And I put them to the test. So if anybody can tear up a set of wheels, it's going to be me.
Dude.
KMC, all forged in the car in the back. Holler at your boy. This is the same ones that we ran the Mint 400 on. They still look brand new.
I was going to say, and you should have just said me tearing up stuff, also a Mint 400 three-time winner.
Yeah, it just feels different. You know, 3 times just hits a little different.
Woo! Thanks to the guys over at Motul. Really appreciate them sponsoring the show. Please, if you want any good oil products, go purchase Motul. You can get it at Cycle Gear or any of your local dealers. Thanks to the guys over at Shock Therapy. Justin and all those guys do a fantastic job helping out all the racers and obviously all you enthusiasts as well. You can use the code DIRTLIFE and go pick up some limit straps or maybe a steering rack or anything like that. You can also get stuff from Zollinger Racing Products with the code THEDIRTLIFE and match up some tie rods or something to your steering steering rack from Shock Therapy. Thanks to the guys over at JL Audio for becoming a part of the show. Those guys make actually some fantastic products for Can-Am. They got the roof stereo system for the
Mr. Mao ran a full JL Audio setup in his X3 that mounts in
How does it sound?
the dash.
For years.
Sound good?
Oh yeah, it's louder. It'd get louder than you wanted to listen to.
Yes. So those guys had a playlist at the Mint 400 just banging away in one of those systems, dude. It sounded so good. So thank you to the guys over at JL Audio. Please support them as well. Thanks to the guys at EFX Tires. And, hey, who's bringing you some power in your race car?
Evolution Powersports, of course. Everything in the shop has Evolution on it. And it's getting close to Todd's birthday, so shout out to Todd Zaccone, one of the owners of
Todd.
Evolution Powersports. My man's birthday's getting close. So.
Big dog, Todd. And Evolution Powersports. So please grab their Code Shooter products. You can tune your car, get a little bit more horsepower out of it from your cell phone. Super cool products. Thank you to the guys over at Vision Canopy. Man, if you need to represent your sponsors, get some custom canopies made, hit those guys up at Vision Canopy. They got some fantastic Instagram. They're really giving back a lot to the racing community, so please support them because they're supporting all of us in the racing community. Thanks to the guys over at CryoHeat. And thanks to the guys at Solderweld, too. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com and get yourself an off-road repair kit. So, a couple of things that I want to talk about today.
Well, now that we got that crap out of the way.
It takes so long, right?
Let's reintroduce Mr. Mal in case the audio wasn't working whenever we did it the first time.
The legend, Mr. Mal.
Yeah.
So, I asked Mr. Mal if you guys didn't hear it in the audio before, if he's ever done a podcast.
Nope.
Never?
Nope.
Not even one?
Nope. You're the first.
I mean, these dudes are doing podcasts.
Yeah. I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I feel really blessed now, man.
I've never been invited.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's how it works. I've never gotten the phone call, I sit there and watch them and think, well, maybe next week I'll get it.
Maybe they'll ask me one day. I don't know.
I finally bought a pit bike, so, maybe I fit in now. I don't know what
is it being part of the crew? That's how it goes.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. So this is how it went. So people that follow us on Instagram know we went and bought a bunch of pit bikes just the other day. And when I say a bunch, like we went and bought 6 pit bikes. So we're doing some Instagram stories, cruising, going to pick them up. And Mr. Mal calls me. He's like, hey, where y'all going? What are y'all doing? I was like, picking up pit bikes. She's like, they got any more? I said, no, we bought all the 110s. We bought all the 110s. Yeah. Shout out to Forest City Powersports, hooked us up. That we bought all their 110s. He's like, well, what do they got that's a little bigger than that? I said, well, they got a 125 big wheel and little wheel. He's like, you know what, give me one of the little wheel 125s. So we went down there for 6, came back with 7.
Nice.
Yep. As soon as we got back, Mr. Mal made a rip through town with us. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah. Round of applause for Mr. Mal stepping up.
I'm born here. I grew up here, and I didn't even know you could go those places, man. No, some of them are quite beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you can go exploring on them, but you can also really get hurt on those things, too, man.
Well,
know your limitations.
I kind of follow them.
Wait till one of them.
I'm the cleanup crew in case one of them wipe out.
Yeah.
When they wad it up.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, I wanted to thank George White and Eddie Ensign from Double E Racing because they gave me an Uber ride all the way from Texplex over here to Shreveport, man.
The best dudes,
pretty
man.
cool. The Uber was pretty big, though. Toter with a stacker.
Yeah, that's a nice Uber.
Yeah.
He probably had some good conversation, too, right? Not that real weird Uber conversation.
Well, he did say that Louisiana is really, like, Shreveport is not really Louisiana.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he was totally getting at you guys.
Like we're Yankees or something?
Well, he's more from Cajun country. Kind of like we were talking earlier, there's kind of a line across the state between Baton Rouge and Alexandria somewhere. And anything north of that line, we're considered rednecks.
Oh, is that how?
And
south of there, you're Cajun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's a
see.
little bit of a battle back and forth.
Does that mean that if they race against you on the track, you guys really, really got a good battle going?
Oh, yeah. We're arch enemies with the Cajuns. The rednecks and Cajuns just battle all the time.
Hey, but I tell you what, both of you guys are nice because they gave me a ride all the way over here, so thank you to those guys. Please share the show. So if you guys are watching right now, share the show. Help support everybody that supports us. Obviously, help support these guys. We're going to get into some really cool stuff tonight. We're going to share some stories about how S3 started, kind of get a little bit of a backstory, see where they're going, what kind of parts they make. There was a lot of stuff that I learned already today that I really want to help you guys understand about the stuff that they do here. Fantastic company. And so please share the show and help us support these guys too. The Texas Outlaw Series, we're going to have a recap on Thursday. Since we got the opportunity to hang out with these guys tonight, we're going to focus on these guys. But Thursday, join us for that Texas Outlaw Series recap show. Fantastic racing. And, man, Kyle Chaney took home extra $2,000.
Surprisingly, boy, came out there and put it down, man. Josh, did it definitely cut off? Is the live feed cut off?
On Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, yeah, they're both at like 221 or something like that, and it says it's over now.
Okay, let me restart it real quick on Facebook real quick.
Is
All right.
Instagram still running?
Yeah, Instagram's still running. Yeah, I'm still live on
You
Instagram.
just joined.
All right, Instagram, just hang out for a second here. We got some technical difficulties.
We're trying to make sure everybody gets to enjoy. Traco out there saying, miss Mr. Mal at the races.
Yeah.
What's up, Tracy? How are you, man?
I get a lot of people say that when we go out to the races. Like, man, where's Mr. Mal coming out of retirement going to make a run at the title again?
Yeah, when was the last time you've been out to the races?
2018, he got second for the championship. Is that right, Josh? 18?
I think it was 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was that, man? That probably had to feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Was that your first season, or how many seasons
had racing until I was 54.
How many seasons had you already been into it when you got that?
3.
Yeah, maybe raced 3 years. And
Yeah.
so had a couple of bucket list things. Was win a Best in the Desert race,
Yeah.
which you did. Won the Silver State maybe? What race was
Yeah,
it?
Silver State.
Yeah.
150 that year.
Yeah. And then got second for the Best in the Desert championship in the sportsman class.
What
man.
what car were you driving at that time? I think I remember you
It was
had
an
two.
X3.
It wasn't actually.
The four-seater?
Yeah, the Bayou Bobsled.
It
Yeah.
ended up being Dustin's car.
Yeah.
Which he raced for 2 years.
Yeah, Bayou
We had
Bobsled.
4,500 miles on that motor.
That
Really?
car's seen some things.
Can-Am made us change the motor out.
Yeah.
because it had too many miles on it.
Yeah, I said, let's keep
the thing
running.
was strong.
It runs good. I said, let's keep running in it. That thing hit 100 miles an hour the very last race that we ran the motor before
Really?
we swapped it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the motor really tired, or was it doing?
No,
pretty decent?
dude.
It's
No.
fresh. It had the proper compression.
Leak down, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Really?
It was one of those factory freaks, dude. You know, you get a good rig every once in a while that
Yeah.
it was one of those.
And
It was
the
a factory
motor's just
freak.
dialed. Yeah.
Strong
Yeah.
till the day you put it
Yeah,
down.
you hit 3-foot whoops and just hold her on the floor. at
What's the
80.
reason you don't want to keep racing?
Let's see. Back surgery.
Oh, just too much.
I'm old oil field, so I was already pretty busted up. Actually, the year I quit racing, I had 5 surgeries that year.
Oh man, Caleb Barber
Next
just
year.
chimed in, said been a big fan since Visions of Victory 2015 when Dustin and Shane were in the car video racing the only turbo at UTV World.
My man, that was a long time ago. That was when they first dropped the Can-Am with a factory turbo, and we're the only people racing it. So
Yeah, we had a sealed room back here with a key code, and only 3 people were allowed in there.
yeah,
Oh really?
yeah,
Yeah.
That was the secret stuff back
Yeah.
then.
yeah.
So you know who I saw this weekend? Good old Shane.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Tex
got to
Plex?
hang out with him, talk to him a little bit.
Man.
He just built his son a brand new 170, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or,
Got second or something, didn't he?
Dude,
Yeah,
he
his
was
little boy
ripping.
did.
It was
Yeah.
it was cool to see though the progression because the first, he was real timid on Saturday, kind of like not doing, but on Sunday he was full wood, man.
That's what
Kid
I
was
heard.
Going as fast as he could, so it was super cool to see.
Well, he gets it honest. Huh?
Yeah, he does.
Dad was definitely proud. You could tell.
Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is Shane was my original co-driver in the Best in the Desert, and now Dustin Henderson is. But both of those guys are really talented racers.
Yeah.
Dustin won a championship. Shane's won a bunch of big races. Shane actually got in the driver's seat, crazy story, at one of the Best in the Desert races, and the Henderson 250, the last year they ran it.
Yeah.
Really?
And Shane, just because we didn't have a good season, we had a couple of DNFs, so Shane got in the driver's seat and won that Best in the Desert race
Sure did.
from co-driver to driver.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got protested the very next race at the Parker 250, and like a whole big crazy thing happened.
No way.
They made us swap our ECU at the start line because they thought
Oh,
we were
dude, I
cheating.
remember that.
And we won that race.
Yep.
Yeah. I totally
walked up-
remember that.
I walked up to Dustin when they made us change that ECU. And I said, if you don't ever win another Best in the Desert race, win this.
Win this race. And we went out there and did it.
Did it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy, though. I totally remember that. And I remember you being like, dude, it's not a big deal. And
No.
everybody else was like, oh, we got him this time. Like, everybody
yeah.
else was so stoked. And I was like, yeah, sweet.
Dude, it worked. Man, it couldn't have worked better, dude. Couldn't have worked better.
Everybody thought we were cheating, and we were running well within the rule book.
Yeah, we was. Yeah.
No cheating.
Don't you love that feeling though? It's like,
Whoa!
whoa!
Almost went for a ride.
Hey, so we were just talking about these chairs. These chairs are old. They've got ideas in them. They've seen some business meetings, dude.
Yeah, I think I just businessed that one out.
Yeah. What do you mean? These are the fresh
I'll lean forward now.
shop chairs. Look at all this padding left on. If you reach under there to your right, you can push in on that handle and it locks. So it'll get you though. You can't trust these things. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's like a
man.
gym fart. You know, you just can't trust them.
That's a good save, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Thought you
Mr.
were
Mel.
gone.
All
Everybody
right.
my bottom.
So I'm getting a little bit closer to getting this stuff relaunched on Facebook and YouTube, but give us a little bit of background on, I don't know how you want to lead into it, but how did you and Mr. Mal meet to be able to understand that you wanted to start S3? Because you used to be in the oil business, and then Dustin used to just be a professional MMA fighter. I mean, he was kicking Cowboys' ass all over the place. But now he's doing motorsports
No,
stuff.
actually,
But-
Dustin had a very good job. He's a mechanical engineer by trade.
Right.
Working for one of the big mechanical engineering companies here in town.
Yep.
And I was in the oil field, and his brother actually worked for my brother in a different oil field business. And we kind of started mud riding and bumped into Dustin, you know. And
yeah, so definitely started as friends and kind of that like same enjoyment stuff first.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a big shop maintenance facility, and of course, you know, at night after everybody got off work, they'd all come over there and work on their bikes. And because back then, you know, we had I had an 800S, man. That was the big boy.
Putting in work.
Yeah, and we'd tear them up, so we'd have to work on them at night.
It's this much travel on the suspension.
And we thought we were so dialed. But what was
we
cool
were
to me is
studs.
I was fresh out of college, and so just got my first job and like didn't have much money. But with Mr. Mal having an oil field company and like it was doing really well, he always had the coolest parts. And so
Yeah.
like I would get off work at night, come to his shop after they got off work, and they'd be installing brand new intakes and brand new
Oh, big.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Just
yeah.
you know, a new billet fuel rail and fuel injectors and full exhaust. So for me, it was cool to just go over there because they had the coolest parts and they were installing brand new stuff all the time. And so, yeah,
And really, one evening, everybody took off, and I was upstairs in the office, and Dustin come up there, told him I wanted to talk to him. Because some of the components which we were running were,
Like in your
our
opinion, maybe subpar or something.
inferior.
yes.
And I knew Dustin was an engineer by trade, and said, hey, look, you know, I've been thinking about this. Why don't we start a little company and, you know, build some good quality products where people don't have trouble, don't have to work on them all day after riding all night. He didn't think long,
Now,
about a day or so, and then I get a phone call.
said let's do it. It was it was a tough decision though because like Mr. Mouse,
What year was this?
2010 is when that happened.
Yeah, because that was kind of the I don't know what you want to call it, but like the beginning heydays of it, of all the side by side stuff, right? Because you guys still, I mean, you still to this day play around in the mud on what you call bikes.
Yeah,
right?
everything's a bike.
Yeah,
Quads.
Everything's a bike.
yeah. So what's the reason for that? It's just how it is. Everybody just calls them that.
Yeah.
That's just what everybody calls it.
Yeah, it's just our slang term. So honestly, like a ATV or a quad, we call that a bike when we go riding those. Our little pit bikes that we go riding around town, like we call those bikes. And then honestly, all these side-by-sides we call them bikes. When you're talking to your buddies, you just kind of know like which one they're referring to. Like, hey, you want to take our bikes and go out to Muddy Bottoms this weekend? Everybody's like, oh, you want to take the quads out? Got it.
Right.
Hey, you want to take our bikes and go down to Texplex and run them out there? Oh, you want to take the side-by-sides? Yeah, let's go race.
You want to take your mini bikes?
Yeah. So it's just always been a thing down south, and it's not just us in our shop. Like everybody down here in South refers to them as bikes. Man, that's a sweet bike you got on that trailer, and you'll have one quad, two side-by-sides, and then the pit bike in the back of the truck.
Well, I think that's, you know, that kind of started. I remember the first year I went to Mud Nationals, and I just bought that 800S, and everybody else was on quads.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what the heck to call that thing.
Yeah.
And so they just called it a bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's we always get that same question like on the
Man.
West Coast. We're like, why do they call them bikes? And it's just like, well, that's just what it is.
Dude,
right?
we catch so much grief. It's like everybody calls like soda drinks Coke.
Or pop.
Or pop,
Yeah.
So like around here, I guess down in the South, it's everything's Coke. It's Sprite is Coke, Dr. Pepper is Coke, Coke is Coke. And so they just call it that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man, let's stop by the store and get a Coke. Well, you actually mean stop by the store and get a Dr. Pepper. But
Yeah, exactly.
hey, let's stop by the store and get a Coke.
I want to get me a soda.
Yeah. So just everything's a bike down here.
Calling them bikes on the internet creates a huge uproar. Yeah.
My man is right about that. And to be honest with you, like, I don't get hung up on that stuff. If you got time in your day
to uproar that,
dude, to make an uproar about somebody saying a bike, I don't care. They could call them unicycles, and I would still think they were cool. So I'm just surprised that people get so worked up over something that small.
Hey, dude, the West Coast. Do you guys say, like, do the whole dirt bike thing, like, brop, like, brrr,
No,
like any of that stuff?
no, we didn't really know what that was. That tall black socks, black Dickie shorts, we didn't know about none of that until we started going.
Easy.
We showed up out there. I remember we had talked to Can-Am, and, well, I might ought to back up a little on that, you know. We'd been in business a couple of years, and so we were sitting around a campfire one night, and Shane was there, and Dustin was there, and we were producing some products. Well, I wanted to expand on that, and always heard, you know, if you got into racing, you'd sell more stuff. And so I go, hey, I want to start a little mud race team.
They have mud races, too?
Mud races. Oh, yeah.
Big down here.
That's how Dustin and Shane got known. And Dustin got so PQ'd about it, he went to bed. Didn't have nothing to do with it. Thought it was the biggest waste of time and money.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, started mud racing, and then stuck this guy in something. And we went, wow, he can actually drive. Unbeknownst to us
Any
or
of
himself.
us.
So that's how racing
It's kind of weird to think about now, though, right? Like, after all the championships, short course races, desert races, all this different stuff, like, back then it was, what, probably 2012 or something
Yes.
that you were
Yes,
thinking about
2012.
this? Yeah, so, like, to think about it then, like, well, I guess at the time you guys are probably like, oh, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But, like, right now it's just like, oh, that's just a drop in the bucket.
Dude,
Well,
and
they won everything.
Yeah.
Either Shane won the first in one division, Dustin
Was
won
there a
first
boatload
in
of
the next
competition,
deal.
too?
Oh, dude, it was
You know,
huge
they'd come
back
home
then.
with a car full of trophies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of competition, and I guess Can-Am, some guy we had sand cars at one time.
Yep.
And we had met the DM out in California
Kevin McPherson.
and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah.
They were having dinner, needed another desert racer, and said, "Well, why don't you call those guys? They're
So it
pretty
kind
nice
of just
guys."
fell into your lap then?
Nick Burnham, you crazy. You can drive the wheels off anything. No, I can drive a bike, too. Anything.
So-
I funded it the first year, and Josh, who runs S3 Media for us now, and does a lot for Can-Am.
You're welcome to say hi,
podcast.
Josh. We got Josh on the microphone over
Yeah,
here.
we do.
What's going on?
We got
I'm
Mike.
supposed to be handling the laugh track, but I've been missing it.
But I'd known Josh from another deal that me and a buddy were in, and like I said, I'm in my mid-50s, and so I called Josh up and said, "Hey, dude, look, we're going to go desert racing and race two cars, Dustin in one and me in one, and why don't you come along and just shoot video? We'll call it whatever."
Did you understand like what you were getting into? Because that's a lot of work, man.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of money.
No, that too.
But I just want, and the main reason that I wanted to do it, I've got 5 grandchildren, and when the boys got a little older, they could look back and say, Granddad.
I had a cool grandpa.
Yeah.
I had
he
a cool
did some
grandpa.
cool stuff,
Yeah, and how the racing really started.
I
The
can
reason-
just see Mr. Maldo right here just holding this championship trophy at Christmas being like, yeah, guys.
You see this, kids? You see this?
Yeah. Check it
You
out.
talk to me with some respect, grandkids. But how it was supposed to work was because we ended up getting a deal with Can-Am. Mr. Mal was like, hey, look, this is what I'm going to run the sportsman class because I want to get out there and do some racing. It's fun. If y'all break anything, if y'all have any problems, I'm going to stop and I'll help y'all. I'll give y'all parts off my car to keep y'all moving. First race.
That's a solid move, though.
well,
Or thoughtful move.
First race that we raced together was the Silver State. Well, me and Shane broke a rear axle and had a flat tire, and he came by, him and Quentin, just waving at us on the side. Actually, I think his co-driver was waving at us, and Mr. Mao was looking straight ahead like he never saw us.
I never saw you.
And so we were like,
Burning by.
what
Didn't
happened,
say anything.
what happened to the game plan of you stopping? Mr. Mao's gone.
Oh,
Didn't
Lord.
even check up, just kept rolling.
Dude, that is hilarious, man.
But I was so against starting a race team, dude. I was adamant that it was going to waste money for Powersports, that we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't be out there racing. We didn't.
Right.
And he was like, man, it's win on Sunday and sell on Monday.
Yeah,
It was a perfect storm, really, because, when we started racing, there were 2 other Can-Ams racing in the desert.
Yeah.
And
Three.
Three. Well,
was-
I don't know if you'd call that other one.
That's true. It was
what cars were they? That you guys-
Murray's,
Murray's,
Sappington, and Michael Lansky.
Yeah, I remember that because I actually co-drove for him one time.
That was the only 3 Can-Ams whenever we started.
Yeah.
So, but what platform was it? What vehicle?
The regular Maverick 4-seater.
Right.
And then we started...
Again, with like 3 inches of travel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, almost.
And then
Very
we started the
handicapped.
year they released the Turbo Maverick.
Yeah.
And we built a 2-seater that he raced, and then we built a 4-seater for us not long after.
Dude, yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing those things. And I remember that at the time, like, I was like, I don't know, like, is this desert racing thing going to kick off? Because it was, like, at the beginning of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
on the forefront of it. And it just started, everybody started doing it. And it was like, all of a sudden, it just ramped up so quickly.
I mean, I feel like it was just right after we got into it that it really started started
Hey,
catching.
it was all you.
Yeah, it was
built
just-
Yeah, we were Can-Am when Can-Am wasn't cool.
Yeah.
But what actually happened was people saw, hey, I can afford this. I can't afford a buggy or a truck or something like that. And parts were fairly cheap.
Yeah. And you could go down to your local dealership and buy one with some minor modifications. You could race in the side-by-side class. And so that
Yeah.
was appealing to a lot of people.
Got a lot of people started then.
And that was like, to me, that was like, in my opinion, that was the beginning of it, right? Because that's like what really started the trajectory of desert racing and all of these other series, like coming really to the forefront. It was pretty cool at that time. It was what, about 2013, 14, 15 area?
Was when it really started growing fast.
Yeah,
because
I feel like that too.
Off-road and desert racing was so unattainable to everybody because you were familiar because of the coverage. You were familiar with trophy trucks, class 1s, class 10s.
Yeah.
And then some people thought the bugs were cool for sure, but there just wasn't much love out there for UTVs. Well,
They
when
call us golf carts.
Yeah, exactly.
We were
Yeah.
golf carts.
so no love and little respect for them.
Yeah.
And so when it started catching traction, and like UTV Underground was a big part of that.
Yeah,
And
100%.
the Martelli brothers were a big part of pushing that.
Joey D and all those guys,
Yes.
yeah, the OGs, man. I remember those times. It was so cool. And then so, like, right around that time, you guys are probably like, well, obviously you want to do the desert racing stuff, but on the back end, you guys are probably thinking, well, there's a little market for this.
Yes. Yes.
Like maybe the parts that we were thinking about developing is a little bigger than we thought.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a lot bigger than we thought.
So what are some of the things that happened behind the scenes during those times? Are you guys sitting back here at the shop like, oh shit, we broke this thing and now we can go back to the shop and redo it? Or
Well, first of all, from the jump, we fully committed to build everything ourselves. So we had never built a long travel. We'd only built lift kits.
Okay.
We had never fully wired or built our own wiring harnesses. And so with our cars, we literally built the chassis, built our own suspensions, fully wired our car. We don't send nothing out of the shop. And you and I walked through our shop
I wired
today.
the first 2 cars.
Yeah. And so you walk through the shop today and you see we've got a short course car and a Best in the Desert car getting built right here.
Yep.
The prep shop for our race cars, a King of the Hammers car getting prepped. All these cars that are coming through here, we fully built, fabricated, wired, sheet metaled, everything. And so on the front side, we fully committed, like we're going to do, there's a brand new short course chassis fixing to go to powder coat, Best in the Desert 4-seater fixing to get built. And so we just committed we were going to do everything ourselves, and the stuff that we didn't know, we were going to figure it out. And so we had to build our own suspensions and all that.
it's kind of trial by fire, but that's almost the way that things work out the best, especially in the context of racing and motorsports, right? Like you can't build something unless you know how it's going to break almost.
Well, and we didn't foresee it, but it was so beneficial to us because it has made our parts better throughout the years of us building stuff. So, like, right now, the suspension that I run on the car that I won the Mint 400 in just a few months back in December, the car... The car right behind me that we won the Mint 400 in, that's literally our production off-the-shelf parts that's sitting right over there in shipping. Like, I went and just grabbed a set of A-arms, a set of trailing arms, and put it on the car. Like, just straight out of our production line. So
that's actually a good question that Trey Borgman just asked. He said, is esri Racing the same building as esri Powersport?
yeah, so we've been fortunate over the past couple of years. Right now, we started Powersports with that first building that you walked into, George, whenever we walked around, and that's where we had the fabrication. That's where we were building cars. That's where we were mechanicking, is just in that building.
Yeah.
So maybe 4 years ago, we bought the two businesses beside
This
us.
shop and the next shop. Yeah.
So Nick, to like make it sound a little bit more simple, there's different buildings that are connected to each other, and they just have openings that go into each other building. It's pretty cool because everything is set up pretty seamless. So you have one spot here, and it just kind of goes around, and then all of a sudden, when your guys' package ships out the door to FedEx, it just came through all of these cool places. It's pretty cool, and Dustin was gracious enough to give us a shop tour, so we're going to have that come out on YouTube probably in the next 4 weeks or so like that. So it'll be cool for you guys to check that out too. So thanks for doing that, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really handy setup. So like you said, there's a building just right behind camera. That's our fabrication and area. This one that we're sitting in right now is, I don't know, probably 125, 150 foot long.
Yeah.
Shipping's right up there. Prep shop, the mechanic shop is right over there. I mean, the mechanic bays are right over there. So yes, all the race shop, the mechanic or custom shop, the shipping department, and the manufacturing facility is all right here in one big building.
Yeah, all the sheet metal on these cars we do in-house. But one of these cars rolls out, 100% of it was produced in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes you feel good though too, right? Like,
It's proud.
and so we saw a couple things. You guys should go check out the S3 Powersports Instagram page. One thing that I really think is cool, and we'll talk about other stuff other than what I think is cool, but is I call it a tub, but it's basically a chassis with all of the aluminum and stuff on it that you just built for a racer named Ryan Tewksbury.
Yes, that's right.
And that's a really good understanding of the level of detail that you guys put into the finished product. Like, if you see it in person, like, you got to zoom in on the Instagram
impressive,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, looking at it in person is totally different. Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool to see, and it just goes to show exactly what we're talking about now. Like, being at the beginning of side-by-side racing to what we see now is why that level of detail exists, because you guys know what it needs.
Yeah.
Well, and it's evolving all the time. A desert car from 2 years ago is not the same desert car we produce today.
So drastically different. And we're
It
fortunate.
really is.
We're fortunate that a lot of the guys that we work with, and
Right.
like some of our designers race and our salesmen's race and ride. Well, we're fortunate enough that everybody that works up here is passionate about side-by-sides, off-roading, Jeeps, and all of that stuff. And so they love what they do. So they try hard for our chassis to be the best fitting, the nicest, the strongest. Like, they put effort into making sure our stuff is the best. you know?
Right, and it's tested on the track, right? All right, let's go back a little bit too. So, I don't know what S3 stands for. You guys, can you tell me?
Yeah, my name's Malcolm Sneed, and I'm a third.
Oh, okay.
And when we started our oil field company, we had to think of a name, needed something short and sweet. And my wife said, well, just call it S3.
Yep.
So it was S3 Pump Service, and we were all over the U.S. And
So that was easy. Now all of a sudden you just throw Powersports on the end of it, and you're good to go.
everything ended up with S3 on the front.
And it
of
makes for a good logo. It's a short, catchy thing. Like,
Yeah.
it worked out good. But yeah, a lot of people ask us that. What does S3 even mean? But it's Mr. Mal's last name is Sneed, and he's a third.
Yeah, I have two brothers, so everybody initially thought it was me and my two brothers in the business. And
I like how it's simple like that, though, right? And you guys did start local, right? Like, most of the stuff that you guys did was to service the things that you guys were, I don't want to say having fun with, but participating in, right?
Well, at that, even early in the desert racing, the mud deal was just blowing up. I mean, there's a huge oil field infrastructure here that had, service hands. They were making more money. I mean, I had hands making $250,000 a year with high school education. And so these guys
Like to party.
and they liked the mud, and so the mud industry was just blown up, gone crazy.
Yeah, and that's a lot of our audience doesn't know very much about that. So I want to talk about that because that's a good business model to start with, especially in the location of the United States where you guys are.
Right.
And so I don't even know where to ask or what question to ask, but like on the Southwest, it's going to the sand dunes, right? Going to Glamis and stuff like that. But you guys literally go play in the mud and in the water.
Yeah.
Well, and we had sand cars. We'd go out west and go to Glamis and spend a week and burn way too much 110.
Yeah. But around here
And
specifically,
now it's probably $50 a gallon.
yeah, probably.
Probably.
Around here specifically, though, the mud riding is huge here. So if you ever seen like Trucks Gone Wild or Mud Nationals or these big events,
Yep.
there's 15, 20, sometimes 30,000 people at private mud parks where they host
insane,
events.
really?
So
yeah. Yeah,
while
it's
we're
crazy.
kind of a niche market right around here in like East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and then over in Florida, it's huge. Like, we have crazy turnouts at the mud rides around here, dude. 30,000 people, 20,000 people. And so for, 5 years, first 5 years that we were in business, we did nothing but build mud quads and mud side-by-sides.
And nobody else was doing it, so I bought a 53-foot trailer. God, it had bolts, fuses, radiators, diffs for all the different stuff, belts that fit everything, axles that fit
So
all
all
the
of a sudden
different
you
stuff
become
on
the parts
market.
authority
There
at the
you go.
events.
There you go.
Well, it was kind of weird how that started. We actually went to the East Coast Mud Nationals that one year
Yeah.
they had it. And
I don't know if you know Dustin, but he's a way better sponsor endorser than you are.
I need to start holding this towards the screen.
always had axles and belts and everything we needed for our group because we probably had 10 different vehicles in our group.
Yeah,
but
we were
who
just,
doesn't
and
need
a
parts
guy-
at the races?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
At,
Well,
at
a
the
guy
events?
walked up, and he's got two little blonde-headed kids, and it's the first day of the ride, and he needs a rear right axle. Well, crud. Okay, look, I paid this, just pay me that. That's kind of how that got started, and man, we knocked it out of the park for about 5 years.
Yeah.
We're the only ones doing that.
But you know as well as I do, that's a business handshake that you get. That's a customer for life kind of thing because you
Oh,
just save
for
their
sure.
ass, right? You know what I mean?
That was a huge impact on our business, that we were helping people at these events, keeping them going, and it made them happy. And always when we got back in town, they were calling us for other stuff that they needed because we
There
just
you go.
helped them keep riding
we
for the
would
weekend.
literally dismantle some of our personal bikes, rob radiators, diffs. Hell, we even robbed an engine and a tranny one night
Oh,
for
yeah.
a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I hated it. Because
That's some
normally
dedication,
it was my
though.
bike, and so when they come back in the shop, it was gutted. Okay, well y'all put it back together.
How many times have you been like, all right, we're going to take 3 cars out to the races, and then when you get back, you got one that works?
No, see, that's not what happens with us. It's like pit bikes. We take 2 cars out to the mud ride and come back with 5. And I'm like, because we would go out there, tear something up, take ours apart, fix other people's, and then like, you know what? Let's just buy that dude's and let's ride his for the rest of the weekend, break that one, and then buy some.
Oh, I did that one year.
Oh, there's been multiple
Yeah,
times.
I had somebody hit a fence with my. That's back in the days we were Polaris and tore the back end of it up. And I had a buddy that had a 900. And I walked over there. I said, "What do you want for it?" "Well, it ain't for sale." I said, "No, it's for sale."
Everything's for sale, man.
And he racked off some price, and I said, "Okay." I wrote him a check, and
So-
me and Sue rode the rest of the week.
We never came back with less rigs. We always came back with more than we went with. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, that's funny.
The-
but
the-
you help people out along the way, too.
yeah,
Yes.
and it's so funny how it gets started, man, because we were originally just because we tore up so much stuff. We were just taking parts for us to keep riding.
Right.
But people started knowing, oh, those S3 guys, they got some extra parts. So they would come, do you have a belt? Do you have an axle? Do you have a spare clutch? And we did. And it literally was just to keep us riding. But Mr. Mal was like, super smart businessman that he is.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't we spend a little more money, bring a little extra parts, we'll keep our stuff going, and we'll take care of everybody else.
Yeah, totally. I don't know how much technical stuff we're going to talk about, Caleb, tonight, but does Can-Am have a new chassis to one up the new Pro R? Hey, you remember like for the Ford and Chevy battles, everybody's always got something new, dude. Everybody's always got something new. So
You can slide into my DMs. I'll just tell you. I'll send it in a disappearing message so you can only look at it once.
Yeah.
Absolutely do not screenshot it, though, because I can see when you screenshot it. I know this game works. So,
thanks, Brian Atkinson, for joining, too.
dang, old Butterco himself showing up to watch.
So during those times, I mean, like, you're helping out people, and you're really seeing, like, in any type of racing, like all the off-road racing, you guys both know that the camaraderie is like what really keeps you there, right? I mean, like the resources that you have to extend to be able to keep racing and the amount of time that you have to put in. I mean, it's phenomenal. Like you never think it's going to be that much time, and it's always 3 times as much of what it is, right? But the camaraderie and the friendships and all of these things is really what keeps you there, right? I mean, winning helps, but still.
The eureka moment of that, we were at the Blue Water one year, and I wasn't. I had something done. Well, I had a back implant put in, so I laid off for part of that year.
Yeah.
Was in the pit, and Johnny Anglin was pitted right next to us.
Yeah.
And, we're running our race. Well, Johnny pulls in, got a blown rear transmission.
Oh, shit.
And his guys are like, well, that's the end of the race. And we're all sitting around, well, we know a little bit about Polaris products. You got another tranny? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And we jerked that transmission out, got it back in there, put him back together, and got him back going again. And some other Can-Am guys came up and said, what are you doing? What do you mean, what are we doing? We got Johnny racing again.
Yeah.
Well, he's a competitor. Well, we want to beat Johnny in the desert. We don't want to beat him like that, bro.
100%. And that's the exact thing that's so meaningful in any of this stuff. And there are some dudes that are jerks and they don't help out like that, but I think for the most part, most people are the same mentality, right?
It didn't used to be that way. It's definitely come around to where like you'll see people gladly help hit each other, and
Yeah.
like, as it's grown, it's grown with camaraderie to where I've seen tons of teams helping each other, and every time we come into the pits, and even like at the Mint, like we're pitting besides dudes that we're freaking running off on, and we potentially are winning them in, and they're coming up when they see us pit to check our car, man. And it's like you kind of give them that head nod of like, yeah, man. And if anybody has looked at my Instagram or even Can-Am's Instagram in the past couple of days, like you saw that video of us pulling Cody Miller back over on his feet at King Hammers, and we gave up two race positions doing that.
Yeah, but still, that deserves a round of applause. But that's what it's all about, right? Because if you didn't have that, then even you guys would probably get...
you put yourself on an island.
Yeah, and you probably don't want to go to the races because you're just out there just being a jerk, right?
Yeah,
so
nobody wants to be that way.
I got a question to change it up a little bit.
Yeah,
so you guys go to these events, and I'm talking more of the mud events, right? So we talked a little bit about the food that you guys eat down here.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stuff are you preparing at the races? Like, what's the hamburgers and hot dogs? Is it?
I like to go for a Chinese buffet the day before a long race. You know what I mean? Just go straight to the top. So. Our bellies are acclimated to.
We could go so many places
sell
with
everything out there. Shrimp on a stick.
Yeah.
Turkey leg.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah.
God, jambalaya, etouffee,
Gumbo. All the Cajun stuff for sure at all these events are
literally
popular.
Everything that the Southwest has zero idea what it's all about.
Oh yeah, it's all that. It's all that.
Yeah, you're missing it.
Dude, it's so crazy, right? Even this weekend, like, I still don't know why it's called a hot dog on a stick. Is it not a corn dog? Is it different? Like,
no, are you serious? That's not even a question. It's a hot dog on a stick.
It's literally a hot dog on a stick. That's it?
Yeah. There's no breading on it. It's not fried. It's just a hot dog on a stick.
So one of the guys in the production crew goes, "You want a hot dog on a stick?" I'm like, "No." Is that a joke? Like, and he goes, here's a ticket for a free hot dog on a stick. And I just walked over to somebody else and gave it to him because I didn't know what I was going to get. I was like, "Is he tricking me?"
I do not trust this.
Yeah.
So it was funny to see that. Troy Borgman, are y'all strapping Coleman grills to the back of your bikes?
Dude, you already know. Coleman grills, Yeti coolers. Like we've got dinner and drinks all the time whenever we go mud riding.
First time I ever went to Texplex, I don't remember what race it was for.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I think it was for the $40,000 bonus race or whatever it was called. I go out there, and you and Shane Dowden are sitting there. You got your American Evel Knievel helmet on. And I'm like, "Dustin, are you racing this weekend?" He's like, "Yeah, kind of." And he's like, "We got this rent-a-ride, and it's a Can-Am. It's got a cooler in the back. The cooler is filled with stuff. You got, like, I don't even remember what music you were playing, but it was...
It's probably some AC/DC.
Oh, man, God. You got the music cranking, and you're on the starting line, and then I was like, he's bullshitting me. Like, there's no way. And then all of a sudden, I turn around, and you're launching Mount Midlothian with Shane at the side. It's got to be 75 feet, like 15 feet in the air.
Bombing it. Radio to the moon, ice chest slam full.
Oh man, I couldn't get my phone out quick enough to get a video. I was like,
dude, that was tough. Me and Shane, literally every lap, we're pulling into the pits, jumping out, swapping driver and co-driver seat, just shotgunning a monster and taking back off. So ice chest open, grab one, shotgun it, swap seats, go again.
And I could tell because you didn't even go back to the pits. You just came back to the starting line, switched out, and then went back on.
Yeah, we just lined up for another race. I didn't even know what class it was. We were just out there racing.
I was laughing so hard, man. I was like, I have zero idea what he's doing, but this is really entertaining.
I didn't know what I was doing either, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? When you get in that zone, sometimes you just lose it and you just go for everything.
Tracy over at Traco said gator on a stick. Is that a thing?
Oh, he don't even know what that is. He's just saying words and putting them together. Yes, gator on a stick
Gator on a stick is a thing.
I was told at Texplex gator tastes like chicken.
It's similar to chicken, but it's a more dense meat for sure.
Yeah,
it's more close.
white.
Yeah, it's real white. It's more close to frog legs than chicken meat.
All right, so let's get back into some of the serious questions about S3 in general. So you guys have done some really wild builds. I mean, we're talking extra wheels, like a six-wheeler. We've had like super tall builds. We've had some. Like one build I saw was a really, really clean build. Let me see if I can pull up the picture of it. But what has been some of the most memorable builds that you guys have been proud of?
Man, I think probably the physically largest build that we ever did is that one that you got on screen right now. That we built that one. Man, a crazy story. So Matt Tantrup at Can-Am, that designed the Defender, designed the X3, he called us and he said, man, I want to build something that will generate like a legacy for me after I retire from Can-Am. An amazing designer, super smart engineer. He said, I want to design physically the largest production vehicle that's ever been built. And so that one that you see in the picture.
How big was this thing, though? Like, let's just say you're parking it next to a full-size truck.
Oh, it's longer than a four-door long bed truck.
Taller than my Jeep.
Yeah.
But actually, that vehicle, Can-Am did not produce it. It was not in the production lineup.
Oh, okay.
And
so it was a one-off?
Basically, R&D department built that six-seater out of a four-seater.
Yeah, so their big thing was Matt wanted it to be the largest production vehicle ever. So they built it in-house before they sent it to us to
Just the
customize.
chassis.
Really?
So they took a four-seater XMR Defender, cut it in half, or cut the back off of another one, joined a second one to it to build it a four-seater 6x6, because they have the two-seater 6x6 version and the four-seater with only four wheels. Well, that was one that they actually built at Can-Am, sent it to us, and then we fully customized it, gave it to Cowboy Cerrone. He still got it to this day.
So that thing is how is it to drive?
We drove it through Tech at the Mint 400. We loaded the dirt bike that we raced up in the back of it, so it's fun. Like, for a cruiser, that thing, and Cowboy dragged stuff all over his ranch with it, dude.
Super tough? Like
dude, you can't stop it. It would drive up that wall over there. It's just big, heavy. Like, you don't want to get it in a bind.
The interior of that thing was, all of that was hand painted by a guy that we used out of Arkansas. And, we got it. It was just a tube chassis. So everything you see on the outside and the inside, and, the wheels we had custom built.
Yeah, everything's one off on that thing. Everything's one off.
It just looks cool. I mean, it looks production, right? Like, it looks so good. So the level of detail is exactly what I was talking about. One of the I was scrolling through your guys' Instagram, stalking your guys' S3 Instagram page, but this is one of the coolest builds that I like.
You know what's crazy is that's Quentin's just trail riding car.
But
and
that thing is so
simple
clean.
And it's super clean. It's got our Evolution Powersports cage on there, which is like an AB pillar cage, like a really light race cage. Quentin did a cool color on it and did 35s with no lift. He actually put race shocks in 35s, and so that's a really simple car, but dude, people love that car.
It just looks so clean, right?
Yeah, it's simple and just sweet. And it's not super crazy or over the top, but man, it's such a good looking rig.
And so you guys are big Can-Am guys, but you guys also do other stuff as well. Kawasaki, Honda. This is a vehicle that we saw over the weekend. Eddie Ensign, thanks again for giving me a ride in the Uber. But this is one of the Honda Talons that you guys built too. This car actually looks really
beautiful,
really good.
Car, right?
Yeah.
That was our first big run at a fully built Honda, dude. And that car is beautiful. The interior is beautiful, and that car freaking rips. You saw him this weekend dragging everybody on the whole shot.
Yeah.
whenever we were done with that car, they had to add weight to it to make it pass tech.
Yeah, but that's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
Caden Mack, that guy with the long hair is fast.
Man, you better know it, dog. You better, and it ain't just because I can drive good. It's because of this. It's long hair. When it catches the wind and it just starts crack, 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 popping in the wind, dog, it just gets it. Somebody said low blow, so a lot of people know us for that low blow build.
That was the one with the super low cage?
Yeah, that Defender that we built. And so, man, that was probably our most popular build. Josh, if I remember, didn't we get like 1 million something views on that video?
Yeah, that was the first video we ever got.
When they built it,
Yeah.
I walked out there and I said, Dustin, you're going to hit your head on the cage if you hit something. No, I'm not. And we're sitting around there. We were over Jackson over there playing in the river.
Yeah.
And there was a tree laid down under the
Oh,
water.
dude.
Oh, like a speed bump.
Oh,
It sounded
yeah.
like somebody thumping a watermelon.
Dude.
Boom.
Freaking forehead
Him
to
and the passenger.
Oh, my God, dude. Cracked my head against the cage. But that's probably one of our most popular builds. That was the first video that we got 1 million views on.
Yeah, so something like this, like imagine
actually,
going through something like that, because this is the guys, Dustin.
Yeah, that's us.
That's actually
Imagine
me.
going through something like that and then hitting, let's just say, a 16-inch log
Coming
underneath
to
the
a
water.
dead stop.
That is the oldest Defender, probably still running. That was actually a prototype
Yep.
before Defender came out, and Can-Am approached me. We had some marketing products that we were designing for Can-Am. They said, if you'll put all those products on that thing and drive it all week at Mud Nationals, you can keep it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so that thing has actually got a prototype number. It doesn't even have an MSO.
Pin number.
No VIN number, no nothing on it.
That's pretty cool, man. While we're going through some of these pictures, you guys have a pretty good gang over here at S3. I think this is probably old. I'm not sure.
That's our people.
But if you guys have any time, go check out the S3 Instagram page.
Dude, so proud of those dudes, man.
Yeah.
That. What's crazy is I think that was a trip out to Sand Hollow where we took everybody
really?
from the dude, and just everybody got on board.
I
Everybody
thought that
came
might
out
have been
there.
a local picture. You guys, you took everybody on a trip, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a fun week, too, man.
A designer. Everybody that had a Jeep
Yeah.
just wanted to go
Yeah.
to Sand Hollow for a week.
And Logan, since you're sitting at home, I don't know if you're still watching, man, but you're probably out actually doing this. On
Yeah,
your,
that ain't no lie.
Yes.
And what's funny is there's somebody on Instagram, and I don't know who, or Facebook, that always dogs him about never riding. And so this is the all elusive picture of Logan actually going deep on his Renegade.
on his quad.
On his bike.
AKA
Nope,
bike.
it's on his bike. Just that weekend, it was a mud bike.
Let's see here. Caleb asked if there's any Commander builds.
Yeah,
in the
dude, we
works.
just built a sick four-seater Commander, kind of like that one of Quentin's, like it's on 35s, stretched, full cage, full cab, custom paint job, like a sick Commander. So yeah,
Heater, stereo.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, God.
the most built you could build it. So yeah, I think he's using it to just like trail ride and pre-run a little bit of the 1000. They do a big trail ride out there, but yeah, we built some sick Commanders lately. A few two-seaters on 37s with no lift.
Holy smokes, 37?
Dude, we do our stretch kit and 37s with no lift, and they look so gnarly like that, dude.
That's one of the things that I always thought was cool is, like, you don't copy. You're on the forefront of it, right? Like, you always think of the new ideas to come out with. Like, most people would think, all right, if I'm going to put 37s, I need to make this thing freaking so high. But you're thinking a little different outside the box.
We do, man. It's a mixture of, because we do some rock crawling, we do some racing, and we do a lot of mud riding. So
Should
naturally,
we call it versatility?
Yeah, we can call it that if you want. We can call it,
I mean, to
You guys
design
just
the
like to have
back
fun.
suspension is easy.
Yeah.
The front suspension takes a while.
yeah.
I mean, because it's like a car. If you make a turn in a car, you let go of the steering wheel, it's supposed to come back straight. Well, we like to do that with all of our off-road equipment, too. And that takes several tries and moving things and re-engineering to get it straight.
All right, Trey Borgman actually asked, what about the Maverick trail you built? That was so sweet.
He can't be talking about the Billy Goat, the 50-inch Maverick Trail.
Which one is that? I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
We did a ride in Tennessee, like a little group ride. It's one of our Visions Victory videos. It's a cool video, and like we had
Yellow
fun.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
we-
one you laid on its side.
Dude, I don't know how many times I flipped that thing that weekend, dude. It was
That was a borrowed bike.
yeah, it was a rental.
That we
50-inch
built.
Maverick Trail. A guy gave it to us. Dennis Boyd gave it to us to build and customize to use on the video and then give back to him. And I had that thing so tore up by the time we gave back to him. I bet I flipped it 4 times that weekend out there on that ride.
Really?
Because it was a 50-inch, so it was super narrow. I left all the sway bars still hooked up. So literally, you drop off of a speed bump, it started 3-wheeling.
Really? It's like driving a Honda Civic through the rocks or what?
Exactly like driving a Honda Civic. Dude,
That's hilarious,
it was
man.
a handful out there.
This is a fan-submitted question.
Let's get it.
Is it true that they call girls at the mud events mud bunnies?
No, that it couldn't be farther from the truth. What they call the girls at the mud events is mud crickets.
Mud crickets?
Mud crickets.
Oh.
So the rodeo girls are buckle bunnies.
Buckle bunnies, okay.
At mud rides, they're called mud crickets.
Okay.
And if you want to know what a mud cricket is, go to YouTube, search Mud Cricket song, and watch that. And that was filmed.
Or don't if you're a young
No,
kid.
definitely do it. You need to learn, kids. Today is the day. Go YouTube Mud Cricket. That's at one of the parks that we ride at consistently.
Really?
And the whole music video is filmed there. It's amazing. And then you'll know
Mud cricket?
what.
All right.
Then you'll know what a mud
I'm going to put
cricket
that in the notes. This might be something that we pull out of the
Worth
show as the
Worth
soundbite.
it. Yeah, you should search that for sure.
Okay, so do you guys remember, another fan submitted question, do you guys remember your first ever S3 project / build?
Let me think. The biggest. So we built a bunch along the way, but we were using a lot of other people's.
It's kind of hard to delineate because you're putting parts on and you
With our own original parts.
I know which one it was. Do you?
Yeah, it was mine.
Which one? Do you remember which one?
It was a red and white one.
Yeah.
Had the red cage.
Yeah.
Okay, so give us a little bit more info on that build. What was it?
It was a first gen mud lift.
It was a It was a Polaris Razor 900 XP, 2-seater in 2000, maybe 12, maybe 12 probably.
Yeah, and I don't mind telling you, we put way too much lift in it,
Yeah.
and we sold.
What kind of, I mean, what are we talking here?
So
That means with the tire still sitting on the floor, the top of the bed would hit me above my eyes, and the tire would still be on the ground.
yeah, it ended up unbeknownst to us.
smokes.
Yeah, it was really our first run at a big lifted suspension. Like that was our first run at it, and I bet it was probably a 10-inch lift with not much longer than factory axle. So it was not great design.
So we're talking about the center of gravity, like up
Not
in
good.
space.
Not good.
Not good.
It'd go in some deep mud and stuff, but we actually had issues with that, and I personally went back and we came out with our Gen 2 lift.
Yeah.
Where we're going to limit the degrees of the axles here and stop, and what we end up with is what we end up with.
Yeah.
And basically went back, bought all those lifts back from those people, and gave them a Gen 2.
That about broke us.
Yeah, that was going to say that's a bad business decision, but a good moral business
about broke
move.
us.
About broke us, but it paid off.
Yeah, we almost didn't make it through that one.
That's all. That's good though. And okay, so going along that, I want to ask a more detailed question. So all of us out in the Southwest, we don't know what portals do as much as you guys out here.
Yeah.
So explain to us a little bit more about when you're having to build those big cars, you put in all those big tires. What is a portal for?
So a lot of people are running portals now because you get some ground clearance out of them, but B, you get some gear reduction out of them. So they basically hook at the hub mounting point, so at your ball joints in the front and like your trailing arms or where your knuckles would hook. Drops the center of the wheel. It's a gear driven billet housing that drops the hub center down 4, 6, 8 inches. I mean, some of them are 8-inch portals now.
Whoa.
But it drops your hub center down, and you have a gear reduction built into that. So it takes a lot of strain off of the inner drivetrain up to that point of the axle, but it also gives you a lot of ground clearance. So they're really good on straight axle vehicles, and they work really well when you have trailing arms and like a really strong fixed point.
Oh, okay.
But we've seen countless A-arms torn out of frames because it puts so much torsion on the
outside portion of
so it
of the
twists A-arms
suspension.
out of the frame. So they're really good design for straight axles. They work really well on like Unimogs and big lifted Jeeps, but independent suspension is really hard on them.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of people with track bars, but it's a good design to get some gear reduction in lift kit.
Oh, I just got a message that come in. Dustin, have you ever spoken? Well, they said a mud bunny, but a mud cricket. Have you ever spoken to a mud cricket?
I'm going to be honest with you. That is my kryptonite, is mud crickets. So as hard as I try to avoid them, whenever we get to the rides. You know, especially since now we're 3-time Mint 400 champions. You just can't,
Perfect, man.
you just can't hardly go to a mud ride without having some run-ins with mud bunnies, and it's my kryptonite.
That's hilarious, man. Mr. Mal got to break it up.
Yeah. He's like, Dustin, let's go this way, buddy.
That has happened on occasion.
Yeah, and Miss Linda mainly. Miss Linda's the one
my
that reels
wife.
me back in. Like,
They'll tell me, you're getting a little out of hand over there. Okay, I'll be back.
That's so funny, man. Mud Nationals just ended, so from what I heard, and the guys that were asking me, they want me to go out there to experience it.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff can I expect if I go to one of those events?
let's start with mud crickets. You can expect that at one of those
A lot of
events.
them.
But man, it's like the races to where it's a lot of like-minded people that are out there to have fun. They want to have a good time. They want to laugh and share their drinks. We share moonshine. We used to call it the vid jars, the COVID jars, because literally they'll just walk around with open moonshine, just handing it to people. Everybody that makes their own.
I don't think you can get COVID because it kills everything, right?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, it's
let me
70% alcohol.
This is something that I learned when Cowboy and I were doing the podcast together. Apparently, you can go blind from moonshine if they mix it incorrectly. There's like,
Well, no, that's what happened. What?
Oh, Mr. Mal's an expert on this?
Well, yeah, actually. What caused is they would use old radiators for the condensers.
Of course.
Had,
Antifreeze still left in it?
And so you'd end up with antifreeze in your moonshine, and it'd make you go blind.
yeah. So
You had there are some very reputable people around here that make good moonshine.
yeah, they got almost all their teeth.
So if,
They're
any,
really
if any of you
reputable.
guys are in the market, Mr. Mal's got you going. Yeah, he's the guy.
I'm a moonshine fanatic, man.
My man.
Oh yeah, we'd stop, break the jar out, and pass it around, especially that apple pie, because it doesn't even taste like it's got alcohol in it.
Okay, I have had apple pie moonshine one time,
man,
and
that'll come back
I
and hit
remember
you
just
like a
dragging myself
sledgehammer.
through the dirt after that.
Oh
Man.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll sneak up on you.
Dude.
But you can expect a lot of that. A lot of people that are just out there to have a good time.
But they're not dragging themselves through the dirt; it's mud, right?
If you've ever gone
Oh
to,
no, there's some dragging themselves through
Yeah.
the mud. I've seen them passed out in the mud.
Lots of hot dogs on the stick.
that's right. They do have hot dogs on the stick at the mud rides. You can just count on that.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Thanks, Josh, for chiming in with that.
Oh yeah, I used to call it. People would come up, man, I just bought this and it broke. I said, them silver bullets got you out there last night.
We call them bluegills,
Yeah.
But you're also going to
Oh wait, you call them mud crickets, right?
yeah. There's the sound, boys. Oh man, that just touches my heart. I'm going to be honest with you. But you're going to see, if you've ever been to Pep Boys and been down the chrome aisle where they've got the chrome tips, the lights, the under, that's what
The sticker flames are down there. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's what the mud rides are like now. They're like the chrome aisle at O'Reilly's.
They are, literally.
Literally.
Yeah,
So
who
big
can have
stereos.
the biggest, baddest.
Big stereos, big tires, big wheels. No, it's mainly big stereos and lights. That's the thing.
Yeah, JL Audio Stereos. Thank you very much.
Yeah, shout out to JL. Y'all just be out there at the mud rides jamming, making all the mud crickets dance.
This show is going so good, man. I'm glad that you guys have us over here. Let's see here. So Mud Nationals just finished, and I can expect. I mean, honestly, I've really wanted to go to one of these events. I think they're super fun, but I've never been to one. So, I've been to the races. I've been to all kinds of UTV events.
Listen, call Casey Curry and all of his guys. Call Cowboy Cerrone, all of his guys. Call Dominic Reyes, all of his guys. And you ask who you need to go to a mud ride with. If you want your mind to get blown and you want to really be shown a good time, you need to go to the mud ride with us. And so you tell me when you want to go, a couple of months, I'll schedule one. We'll go out to Muddy Bottoms. We get to reserve that cabin. We got a hot tub. It's on the lake. Woo. And so, bro, when we go do mud rides, it's on another level.
That sounds like a lot of cricket's going to be around too.
Well, like that photograph you saw there, that Defender a minute ago.
Yeah.
Last time we were at Mud Creek. Matter of fact, it was kind of weird. I don't know who was shooting the video.
Yeah, probably Josh, if I had to guess.
Yes.
Neil's brother-in-law.
Riding with yeah. Well, he was riding with me. And anyway, I started out through this deal, and literally there's that much of the roof out of the water.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was floating.
Yeah.
So how do these things even drive? I mean, you got to have a snorkel, but how do they not suck in water?
Everything's snorkeled.
Yep. So literally,
Fuel intake is snorkeled. The diffs are snorkeled.
Do you have a snorkel as well? Because that's I think your head is underwater at that point now too,
Just
right?
hold your breath.
You kind of start holding your head out the side. You hold the bar and you run the fuel with your tiptoe.
This sounds wild, man.
Oh, dude!
Yeah.
If you want to have a big time,
They
you
got
come
a
with
million
us.
views. No, it was 1.5.
Yeah, that one got a bunch of views.
So,
too.
Caleb, actually, I was going to ask a similar question there. Price of the most expensive mud UTV you've seen?
Oh man, so
wow.
there's some that we built in the shop, and then like when we've gone out to the mud rides, there are some wild ones. You really need to go take a look at our pages. And these things, full custom paint jobs. The paint job alone on some of these rigs that we build are $8,000. So
Dang.
a set of custom JTX wheels or some of the full billet wheel setups is.
Look at this guy that just joined us right now.
Did he even get invited, or he just showed up on this thing?
Hey, it's like voodoo. Oh wait, it's like magic.
Like magic.
Like a genie.
Hey, young man, how are you?
Man.
So Hunter Miller, what's up, man? How are you doing?
You were rubbing on your monster can, and I appeared.
Like a genie in a bottle.
So, hey, thanks for joining us, Hunter. We really appreciate it. Hunter was, I don't remember what you said to me at the races this weekend, but we were like, go over there, and he goes, he gets a couple cookies, and I go, so look what Hunter Miller eats after the races. He goes, this is the treat you get after getting fourth. Chocolate chip cookies.
No, so that's the trick to getting fourth.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, got it.
Just keep eating good, huh?
Yeah.
Keep eating good.
Make sure I'm fit.
There you go.
Man, you had a crazy weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, it was gnarly, man. Everybody was going for it.
Bro, y'all are getting rough over there at Texplex, man.
What? It wasn't me.
No, it's not usually you. I will say that I've raced with Hunter a few times, and I'll be honest with you. Last year, you and I raced, and in one of the heats, I had a lesser car than what you had at that time. And Hunter raced me so clean, and I was blocking every inside corner, every outside corner, to where he had every excuse to for sure give me the bumper, and never one time did he touch my car. And that's the first time that I was like, you know what, I really respect Hunter Miller. Every time before that, I was like, nah, screw that guy.
You know what the sad part of that deal is I was actually trying to run into you, and
My man.
That's so funny, man. But this is the camaraderie that I'm talking about, right? Because you guys help their program quite a bit, actually building some of those chassis and stuff now. So it's pretty cool to see that everybody can have these laps, battle on the track, and do all this stuff. But the reason that I actually wanted Hunter to join was not because of the racing portion of it. I wanted to see if he's ever been to one of these mud events.
no, too many snakes.
What are you waiting on? What do you mean? I've only been snake bit one time at one of these events. What do you mean too many snakes?
You know what? I remember one time me and Dustin were at a photo shoot long time ago, and where was that? It was what's that place over by y'all? Muddy Bottoms.
Muddy Bottoms, yeah.
Muddy Bottoms, yeah.
And I show up, and the mosquitoes are like that big.
Oh, I'm not a big fan either.
Oh, dude, they're like pterodactyls. And so I'm walking around up there, and I'm watching Dustin and them just freaking bogging through all this stuff, and I'm like, that doesn't look like any fun to me whatsoever. You have to clean all that after they're done.
Well, that's why you get the mud all over you, so the mosquitoes don't bite you.
Oh, that's how it works?
Yeah.
But you thought, man, that doesn't look fun at all. I wouldn't want to do that. But then, what did you end up doing?
No, that's true. I did start.
Oh, there you go.
Then Hunter nearly tore
Holy
up.
smokes, dude! Look at the size of those.
Oh yeah, that's what we.
Exactly.
Hunter,
Those things are wild, dude. You got bit by one of those?
Yeah, I did. Hunter, if you don't know, that's what we call a nope rope.
Are those poisonous?
Yeah, I did get bit by a snake.
Are those poisonous?
I
or
don't
no?
never know. I don't remember. I don't remember.
You're
I
here.
didn't die.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Yeah, I got bit one. Josh has got the video of me getting bit by a snake. I tried to pick it up, and I grabbed it at like its waist, what you would
Oh
consider.
my God, I do not. I'm with you, Hunter. No, thank you.
Are those cottonmouths? Oh.
Those specifically are. But I grabbed one.
God, dude.
I grabbed one by what you would consider the snake waist, and I thought like I could pick him up and keep him away from me. Like I've watched Steve Irwin, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I kind of shook him. Nope. Well. Spun around. Bam! Bit me. And I was like, oh, crap. Don't let that happen again. Spun around. Bam! Hit me again.
You know what? You did get bit by a snake, but Brianna just reminded me in the comments that I have been bit by a wolf. So, top
you
of that.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys are wild.
How did you get bit by a wolf?
Breaking news.
I like your style. I mean, what parent doesn't raise their kids around wolves?
I think Hunter could probably ride this wild animal. Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna start calling you. What's that little kid from Jungle Book? No, what's the little
Mowgli.
kid? Mowgli. I'm gonna start calling you Mowgli, dude. Raised around wolves like that. What on earth?
Yeah, I was 2 years old actually.
Oh, so you was just a quick snack for that dude.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was about I don't know, 200 yards that direction. We didn't have anything out here. We lived in Rockwall, about 30 minutes from here. My parents had just bought their first 10 acres out here. We used to come out here and camp and everything. And like 2 in the morning, I decided to sneak out of the tent and off to the wolf pen my dad had. He had about a 10-acre compound set up for him, and I was trying to feed it potato chips through the fence. And
no big deal. Yeah, who doesn't want to feed a wolf potato chips?
Yeah, it's not fat.
Come on in, sir.
2-year-old arms. So
come here. Hey, no, we're going out to eat.
Hold on.
That's hilarious, man. I can just picture it like in my head, like when you're talking about Mowgli, I can just picture Hunter's parents being like, give him a week.
Yeah.
we'll let him.
Yeah.
I spent a extended amount of time with the Millers and the parents and Hammers. Yeah, they wild.
They would do that. Yeah, they wild. They would do that. No, I already know.
Yeah.
I already know Hunter was sneaking out of the tent, and your dad was like, "No, baby, let him go. He's got to learn. Let him out there with the wolves for a while. He's got to learn, baby." And look at how you turned out.
Or he's not.
Yeah, he's either gonna make it or he ain't, baby. But look at you now, Hunter. I mean, getting 4th place and stuff.
I mean,
look
you
at
learned
now.
so much.
Hey, technically 8th overall. Okay.
Proud of you, buddy. Proud of you for what you did.
It was a pretty wild weekend, though, man. It's good. It was good to see you out there, dude. And I mean, just understanding the stories and the times that you guys have spent. But going back to S3, because that's what the show is about, right? What was the reason that you decided to work with the guys here at S3?
Man, I was like flip a coin, and it was either don't race or.
It was a lack of options, is what you're saying.
Last resort, I think.
My man.
Man, before they really started getting into fabrication, we were buddies with one of their guys there, Cody Taylor, and I think when you guys first started out, you were just, doing some maintenance on stuff and then started doing fabrication. And it started kind of slow, honestly. We were racing GNCC at the time, and we're needing some aftermarket parts. And, man, those guys jumped in and designed us some stuff. And then look where they are now. Then I think that was about the same time y'all got into desert racing and really started going full force with the race program. And it's just built from there. Since then, they've done all of our chassis. Man, I was trying to add it up the other day. I think y'all have probably built close to 20 chassis for us at this point.
Man.
Does it even feel like you built that many? Because
God, yes, it does feel like we built that many for the Miller brothers. Oh man, but to be honest with you, dude, it's been such a great relationship with us and those guys, and they have pushed us to be better builders. They have done so much R&D for us.
Yeah, so how does that relationship work? You have a debrief and be like, hey, this could be better if you change this?
Yeah, absolutely. Or after they run a chassis for a season, like they're very good at what they do, and they know how to set their cars up. So if they run a chassis for the season and something's just not right and they can't get it dialed in, or they get a car up better, they're like, hey, for our next chassis, we want to do this a little different. And then they've made us better builders, man. And honestly, we couldn't be more proud. And me, Dustin, and Logan talked about this the other day, man. We couldn't be more proud that they let us build chassis and race cars for
and
them,
it's the versatility too, right? Because you're not talking about just a short course car. You're talking about a King of the Hammers chassis, or maybe not in their case a desert chassis, but like a short course chassis, a desert chassis. There's all kinds of different stuff that they can provide feedback on, right?
Yeah, dude, and it's invaluable. Their feedback as drivers and racers is invaluable.
So coming from the other end of the spectrum then, Hunter, that's probably really cool, because there's a lot of builders out there just be like, nah, man, you get what you get. Like, sorry, dude, but you're able to like work together.
No, 100%. And generally, the first time I go to them with what I want to do next, they say, "Nah, man, sorry, you're
dude, every time."
I'll say, "No, I really want to do this," and no, they always pull it off. Like I said, Cody Taylor and I talk daily, and we're always coming up with ideas. And generally, the first idea is pretty crazy, and we kind of scale it back till we kind of get to the point where we feel like something's realistic and what we want to do. But no, S3 always pulls it off, to be honest with you. I mean, we couldn't be happier with all of their products and the stuff they build for us,
Ryan Tewksbury said that Hunter Miller just doesn't want the Dustin Jones yellow.
My dude, I seen Tewksbury bringing the heat at the last race.
Hey, so he let
ours is the real yellow.
Bro, why do you say real yellow? Why does everybody keep saying that?
Why is yours not the real yellow?
That's what everybody says. Is ours is not.
I feel like
real
that's
yellow.
pretty yellow.
Nah, me and Tewksbury got real yellow. Y'all
No,
just.
the one beside it is yellow. The one to the left, well.
Yep.
Oh, you're thinking like it's a little bit more orange?
Yeah, they got short
It's a
bus
little bit
yellow.
more orange.
They got short bus yellow on their cars, man. I got the real yellow.
I'm not thinking it's a little bit more orange.
Hey, so one thing I got to say from a media news standpoint, I couldn't tell who you guys were on the track, and because it's just a sea of yellow in that first two corners. I'm just trying to guess. I'm like throwing names out there. I don't even know what to say. So maybe one of you guys could throw like a pink or a blue in there, man.
No, this is our strategy because every time I race with the Miller brothers, I claim the win every time. And I post pictures of the car without showing my face, and I'm like, took another one home. You know what? I won first and second.
Hey, the thing about that is that he's not joking.
Bro, if you listen to my Mint 400 interview with TPQ, he was like, man, Dustin's coming off of a huge win at the King and Hammers. And I was like, oh, really? Dog, what? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I did win King of the Hammers.
Claimed it
3 times.
3 times. I won it the year Cody won it, the year Hunter won it, and the year Cheney
This is
won it.
exactly the problem I'm telling you I'm fighting, man. It's so crazy. I'm just throwing names out there just like he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a good marketing perspective, right, for Can-Am and for you guys, because it doesn't really matter at that point. It's just like, yeah, the yellow was up front.
I win every time because I'll be just taking their pictures and posting them on my wall saying, took another one home.
So basically what Brian Atkinson's saying is that you also won at Texplex
That's
this
right.
weekend.
You know what, Brian? You just reminded me. I need to do a post right now about winning first and second at the last
Dustin
race.
took home the bounty at Texplex, right?
Sure did.
Oh, yeah,
200,000. Matter of fact, Brian, if you don't mind sending that check. Yeah. Who's she? I never heard of her. Brian, just go ahead and send me that check, buddy.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. And this is the exact camaraderie and working relationship that we're talking about, right? Like, you guys have a real professional, escalating business relationship that keeps pushing these businesses and his racing program forward. But you can always rely on the laughs and the camaraderie and stuff. It's so cool, man. Like, off-road doesn't do us any disjustice. It's really the vibe of the whole industry, and that's why Mr. Mao wanted and still wants to be part of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Super cool, man. Hey, so do you have any funny stories about being with the S3 guys other than the stuff that we've talked about?
Yeah, but I don't know if I can share.
Yeah, let's not. Let's just say it was fun and we remember. Let's just.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's good.
I better not comment on that one, I think.
That's some good stuff.
He's met some mud crickets. If I just want to put it that way. Hunter, what do you own right now?
He's got like a Segway or something.
Bro, I hope you had a zip tie on that floor and just eat it.
Oh, is it one of those hoverboard things? That's what Trey Borgman just said.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody, it's this is our race shop here. Our glass shop's over there, and I'm constantly going back and forth. Walking-'s just not.
Walking is for chumps. That's exactly what Dustin was saying earlier. Dustin uses a mini bike to go around the shop.
I'm not walking no more. I'm grown up.
Walking for cavemen.
Walking is for old cavemen. I'm not a caveman.
Oh, that's. Hey, so since I'm like just on the search for tacos and Dustin said it doesn't exist out here, what do you think these guys are going to try to feed me? Because we're going out to eat later.
Oh, hopefully Josh takes you to get some crawfish.
My man.
See, that's exactly what they were saying.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo.
Dustin, are you coming to Mid-America?
Yeah, I plan on going out there. I love that place, man. I think I was talking about coming in emceeing at the next race.
Oh, were you?
And so shout out to Jason, Joey, Tripp, all you boys. You know what? You just need to bring me out there and let me help MC, okay? Because my boy Hunter Miller, my boy
yellow car wins, so Dustin.
Yeah, I'm getting first while I'm emceeing, and my boy Hunter Miller is getting second.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter if you actually even race, you're still getting first.
100%.
At least I beat Cody and Kyle there, and so it's all good.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, what's the biggest tire you guys have ever seen on a side-by-side?
Oh, 60s? No, there's that one X3 that dude does bounty holes in that has like 60s or 62s or something on it.
Are you being
It's
serious?
ridiculous, dude. It's like
is that are you trying to trick me, or is that a serious
no,
answer?
I'm serious.
Serious.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude.
Holy smokes,
Yeah, it's
dude.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. It only drives in a straight line. They just unload it and drive it in a straight line.
So what if you get sloppy in it? You just smash into the wall, or what?
You don't get sloppy or nothing. It will go about 17 miles an hour.
Holy smoke! Could you imagine that, Hunter?
line.
62s?
That's as fast as you want to go with 62.
How big is a monster
Yeah, exactly.
truck tire?
That size?
Holy smokes!
You
And
know
they're
what?
like really skinny ones?
Is it blue? I think I
Yes.
saw a picture
Yep.
of that thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
nasty. Yeah. That's impressive looking, actually.
Yeah, it can't turn.
So here's a good example of one. I don't think it's got 62s on it. It's 50s or something like that.
Yeah, you're
50s
really going to need some Evolution Powersports power behind that
54s or
thing to haul
something.
that around. Dude, look at that.
Oh no! I saw one 3 times.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the one. I was just saying,
Yeah.
for example.
How big do you think those are? Like 50s?
Yeah, 50s maybe.
Holy, dude, 62s?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
yeah, it's the O'Reilly's Chrome Isle, I'm telling you.
dude, that is just insane. All right, Hunter. So if I ever go to the Mud Nationals, you got to guarantee to be there with me.
When's the next one?
A year from now, you got plenty of time to prepare, big dog.
Man, I got a lot of projects to figure out.
Here we go.
He's like, I already tried to back out.
You got a year to be prepared for this, and all of a sudden you got projects that just came up.
I got a year to be ready for KOH next year too, and I'm behind already. So
That's
you're behind.
Yeah, I know. I'm behind. We're
Actually,
behind.
you know what? This is probably a good.
Doesn't look like much of a race chassis anymore, bro.
Oh, at least we got it to you.
Whoa.
This
is
I
actually.
just got it sandblasted for you. That's all.
Oh, crap.
Look how much stuff he has going on. He's good traveling around that shop pretty fast. Like, I'm kind of wondering if he's going to eat it.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to flex on us and make us feel like his shop is huge, but he just keeps driving in little circles. He's like, man, my race shop just never ends. It's just so big.
Y'all know the bad thing is in our glass shop we have these real nice entry doors, and you get a little cocky on these things every once in a while, or just kind of forget how good I am on it. But anyway, I was going wide open up to him, and I leaned back, slow down, and the power just shut off, and that thing ejected out from under me and went right through, shattered the glass door.
Oh, dude. You know exactly what I'm picturing right now is when you go as fast as you can, full speed through a screen door.
Yes.
Like, just smack it right.
Yeah, I'm about to show y'all where it was, because
Good thing you own a glass shop. Good thing.
Yeah.
oh yeah, we own a glass shop, but that's about like in an electrician's house, light bulbs are always out, and there's exposed
Yeah.
wires. In the plumber's house,
Yeah.
everything's always leaking.
The body man's truck is still in primer.
The 5-star chef eating a Whataburger.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy that runs S3 drives the stockest car out of all.
We were just talking about has an ice chest and a radio on it, and I'm out there trying to race it.
That was so funny, man. I love that. Was one of the things that attracted me the most to Texplex. I'm like, this place is wild. I want to come
They
back.
get down out here at Texplex.
Yeah, there used to be 2 here. Now
Oh,
there's
just said, you know what? Just put some duct tape over it. It's like one of those cars with a trash bag and tape around the door frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just tape it up. It'll be good.
It was the only seat in the house with air conditioning, and now I don't even have that. So
Daddy gonna make y'all sweat for doing that.
I'm telling you. Well,
You don't
luckily
respect this place, boo? You gonna
luckily I
sweat.
don't stay in the office too much. So
All right, Hunter, we got a couple more questions that we're going to ask these S3 boys, but thanks for joining us, man. Hey, tell everybody what you got going next. I think actually you're going to join us on Thursday probably for the recap of the Texplex weekend, but for anybody that doesn't watch that, tell them what you got going next.
yeah, I think that's the plan. I'll see y'all on Thursday. Our next race is, I guess it's back out at Texplex for round 5 and 6 at Tex Outlaw. So I'll see you there. I think that's in 5 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was May. I forgot. I'll have to look at it again. But 15th, 16th, maybe.
Yeah.
Brian, if you're there, you can put it in the comments. But yeah, that's going to be a good race for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take me that long to fix up the carnage from this past weekend. So,
Man, and I can't wait to win that race too, man. That's going to be fun.
You got so many victories under your belt.
Yeah, matter of fact, Hunter, can you go ahead and send me some pictures from this past weekend so I can do my post?
Nah, just screenshot it off my Instagram and crop
Got it. Should I tag you and give you the photo creds, or just don't say nothing?
Nah, just keep it to yourself. Nobody will notice.
Got it. My man.
Thanks, Brian. So, yeah, May 14th and 15th, we'll see you there, Hunter. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Hunter.
Go and enjoy this craft race.
Yeah, no.
Have fun. Yes. So, dude, I love those conversations. Like this, it makes me feel good. Like it really makes my heart feel good being able to see like the way that all of you guys interact. And this is probably something like what really, Mr. Mal, gave you the ambition to keep going with the business is seeing all the interaction with all these different human beings. Whether it's at a mud event, a desert event, whatever it is.
Well, I mean, kind of got a saying, do it the right way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that first suspension. The right thing was to buy it back. The right thing, if I sell you something, we sell you something, it needs to be right and correct. And if it's not, we'll fix it.
So I always tell everybody as a kind of off-road subject, if anybody asks me, I always tell them life is just a section of choices.
That's correct.
And if you make the right choices, your life will be better no matter what it is. And even if it's a little choice, it'll end up getting you further along in the long run, right? And that's something that you guys really stick to and stuck to at that point.
I mean, I've got a saying around here: we all make our own destiny in this life, good, bad, and different. So, if you want a good life, you got to work at it.
Those are some like things that you probably learned along the way too, Dustin. Especially having a Mr. Malik teach you those things, right?
Man, it's been a great opportunity to get fast tracked on stuff like that, life lessons, business lessons, and learning this stuff. And he's always taught me like, make money, lose money, break even. You have to do what's right by people.
100%.
At the end of the day, you have to do what's right by people, man. And I've found it just in general in life, dude. It's so much nicer and it's so much more enjoyable to get along and be happy. And like, yeah, Hunter and I race hard together, man. He and I raced hard at Texplex a few times together, but there's always a gentleman's respect in there. 100%. Like I know he won't get into me, I don't get into him, and
even if something does happen on the off chance, you guys can understand that and you have that level of respect for each other. That when you get off the track, you go, you know what, dude, I know you didn't mean to mess up, but
yeah,
it's racing. Stuff happens.
Exactly. Hunter, steal it, man. That's please keep sharing. We'll call it this life knowledge, right? But yeah, that's the exact thing. The reason that we like the Dirt Life Show is to get behind the scenes, right? Like, almost. I mean, Mr. Mal, this is the first time you've ever done a podcast, right? And we've seen you guys on social media. You guys have the Visions of Victory episodes. You guys have your own podcast, and really, like, we see all of this stuff on the front end of things, and people think they know who we are or you guys are, but these are things that we talk about to get to know who the real people are.
Mm-hmm.
And you just saying that and understanding your moral respect for your business and your customers, a lot of people may not get that unless you tell them.
Well, it's all about core values. It's like everybody that works. This is the weirdest place for people to work. I mean, we get people that come in here and go, these guys all work together.
Mm-hmm.
No arguing, no raising a voice. You have a problem, let's discuss it, let's move forward. And people outside, too. I mean, It's like I've told my wife, when I'm dead and gone, if my epitaph is, you know what, you never screwed anybody. You're a good old boy.
You can sleep good. Yeah, and that's exactly
like what Ryan said.
Yeah,
man.
Ryan Tewksbury just said that. He said you got to be able to sleep good at night.
I live and die by that, Ryan. That when I lay down my head at night, I know that I made the right decisions, even if it lost us money sometimes, like us buying all those suspensions back. That almost put Powersports out of business. Not pump service, not the refill, but almost. But at the end of the day, when we laid down at night, I could sleep good because I knew we made the right decision. As bad as it hurt, it's like what Ryan said.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what the Dirt Life is, too. The Dirt Life doesn't make any money. It supports itself, and we're out here doing these things that we love because it's awesome to be able to give back to our sponsors, to give to the people that watch the show, be able to come hang out with you guys and talk about these stories. Like, it's awesome, dude. So I'm glad that, a lot of the power sports or off-road industry is all on the same page here. So a couple other questions that we had was, what was the transition to I've told you this before, Dustin. I see you more than I see most of my really good friends, right? And you live halfway across the country. So what was the want or transition to get into desert? Because that wasn't a necessity for the business.
No, not at that time. It wasn't. We didn't know it was going to be, but it wasn't at that time.
It's something we looked at off and on, and Can-Am kind of challenges, Dustin and Shane and all of them. And that's part of the life thing that you're talking about. When they go, hey, we'd like y'all to race desert next year. Well, that's a door.
Yeah, it's like kind of like riding the wave, I guess, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, if we don't open that door and step through it, we don't know what'll happen. So you got to be brave enough in life to step through those doors.
You got to have some cojones to open that door, though. I mean, like, were you guys naive, or were you guys like, you know what, we're going to go all in on this? Because, like, that's a pretty big door to open.
We went all in. I'd hate to tell you how much money I spent the first year.
Yeah, but I think we were too dumb to know what we were stepping into.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
the naive
part. Yeah, the same way that their live show started.
We literally went out to Henderson the last race before the first race of the year just to walk through tech and witness a race.
Yeah, before we raced 2 months later.
Yeah.
That's the only desert race we've ever been to in our lives is went to Henderson 250 in December, race Parker 250 in January.
Yeah, first car we built off photographs.
Yeah, from Google Images. We had no idea what we were doing. No idea what we were doing, dude.
You guys need some S3 neck tats.
That's the second time that's got brought up.
No, dog. Our boy already got us dialed in over there.
Yeah.
He went from hand tattoos to straight Mike Tyson. He might as well put 6'9".
Oh yeah, QT got an owl tattoo, didn't he?
Yeah.
Straight owl on his throat.
That's aggressive.
That's very aggressive.
That's going from 6 to 12 is what we call that.
How has it been taken? Like, how is it?
Oh, we're getting fights regularly now. So
Really?
Yeah, we get in fights once in a while. So.
It gets wild with the neck tat?
Yeah, people just assume that you're probably ready to get down every time you walk in place with a neck.
It was wild before the neck tat.
It was wild before, but
it just escalated.
It just stepped up a little.
So, Caleb, I don't know if we're going to actually be a proponent of that. We don't condone fighting here.
Oh, let's go back, though. This dude says tattoo. So a couple of years back, I don't know, 1 or 2 years back, one of our guys shaved his arm and got, I guess, what was Chris's tattoo? It was a fake tattoo of sorts. It was henna or something? Talking to the mic.
It was the S3 logo.
I know, but what kind of tattoo was it? Henna tattoo or something, but it looked real. And so he posted on Facebook, and it was Chris Mashburn, our web guy that you saw in there, and he goes like, "Bro, are you kidding me? That's crazy." And I was like, "Dude, I can't believe you got a tattoo." Well, he let it go on for like 2 or 3 days, and then he came in one day and was washed off, and I was like, "Bro, you're so crazy." So I took that picture of his, posted it up, and made the challenge that if anybody would get an S3 tattoo, I would pay for it. Brian, like 4 days later, 2 dudes sent me a tattoo. I wish I could remember their names. I got to show them to you after the event. One dude got S3 Powersports tattooed all the way under his arm.
Whoa.
A huge S3. And one dude on his thigh got Homer Simpson with a mullet with a pair of glasses on that were S and 3 for the sunglasses.
Dude, Kanye, Homer, and a mullet all in one tattoo.
Sickest. Wait, Kanye? What?
Kanye wears glasses at night.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. The sickest tattoo I've ever seen. But 2 dudes end up getting S3 tattoos. Shout out to them dudes showing
that is such
support.
Dedication, dude. Holy cow. Caleb said pansy. Hey, I don't know about you guys, but man, that's pretty gnarly for those dudes to do that. That's crazy.
That's going to 100 for sure.
Okay, so you talked about like the employees and everybody around here. That's one of the things that I want to talk about is we showed a kind of a group photo of everybody that works here at S3. Give us a little bit more of an understanding of the people around here in the organization and, how awesome everybody is. Because even when I walked in, man, I didn't get nothing but smiles. It was awesome.
Yeah, if how can I say that?
Like everybody here just seems like such awesome.
If we're not going to do things right, and if we're not going to have fun, then let's go do something else. You know what I mean? And most of the people that work here are avid enthusiasts or racers, or it's strange in a weird way.
And we've been so fortunate and so blessed along the way that there's a lot of things that you can attribute success to, but there's one thing that you cannot attribute success like this to, and it's not having good employees.
Right. The human factor is always the biggest.
It has to be.
Yeah.
The largest asset is your employee.
Right.
Mr. Mao taught me early on, whenever we started going down this road of you can't do it all. You can't be the smartest. You can't be the best looking. You can't be the best spoken. You have to put people around you that can help you. And in the beginning, Mr. Mao was doing all the hiring and firing and locating employees for us. But along the way, he taught me to surround myself with good people that can help us all work together to move forwards. And so, man, we've been so fortunate just to find good people to work with.
Hey, Hunter Miller, if you're still watching, another thing you can steal from me is teamwork makes the dream work. So,
I've heard you say that before.
I know, and I didn't coin it. I'm just messing with him. But but that is a huge thing, though, right? Like on a serious note, that's a business.
That's exactly
essential.
Correct. I mean, without a team, without communication, you have chaos.
Right.
So you have to have communication.
I like that. Without communication, you have chaos.
That's correct.
I like that a lot. Let's see here. So we actually had someone chime in. I forgot Caleb, I think it was, that said, I'll get an esri tattoo if Dustin pays for it.
Oh, no, that was Daniel Adams. I saw that tag. That was Daniel Adams. But no problem, big dog. I'm going to need you just go and get that done. Send me the invoice. I'll take care of it. But don't be sending me your own invoice for the amount you decide. Send it to me from the tattoo shop. I'll pay that.
I'm saying it's got to be the aggressiveness, like half cheek all the way down to the neck.
100%.
I mean, like...
Yeah, you can't be putting it on the bottom of your foot or nothing like that. I ain't paying for no elbow tattoos. It's got to be straight throat, neck, side, back of the head, something.
Wait, who was I talking to? I was just talking to somebody the other day that they all, like their whole group, got tattoos of something. I forgot what it was. And
it was Hubert and Pastrana and those guys.
Yeah.
Those dudes are bad about that.
It was similar to that, but like their whole group got the same tattoos. Most of them got them like, I don't know what it was. Yeah. Let's just say a tattoo on their arm, right? And the other dude, the guy that got it last, he was like, got it all the way across his belly, right? Like a big one. And they go, dude, why did you get it so big and right there? And he goes, I'm trying to hide it from my wife. I'm gonna go like 2 years until she notices. Like, how does that happen? Like,
what is
you're hiding it from your wife, or what?
Do they
what
just leave the lights off all the time, or what?
What are you wearing? A hoodie 24/7? Yeah,
that'd be the first thing my wife noticed.
I know, right? Trey Borgman actually says, dude, what does DH do?
DH, bro, he's taking over like our new product development. So like working with the guys, like a vehicle comes in, like we've got a new shout out to Joey Beck. We've got a new Turbo R out there in the shop. Yeah, and it's getting everything scanned and everything built for it. And so Dustin handles new product development, what parts we need to do first as far as forward A-arm kits or gusset kits or tie rods or our axles or whatever. So Dustin handles all of our new product development.
Basically a scientist?
Basically a scientist.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Ryan Tewksbury says, Logan has been one of the biggest helps to the Crown team. Y'all have great people on the team. So, yeah.
Logan's the dude, man.
Let's do that. Let's go through and maybe give a shout-out to some of the people that are behind the scenes, because a lot of these people might see the show and have talked to some of these guys on the phone or see them at the races, or like Ryan says, whatever it is. So maybe go through and see if you can give a few of these guys a shout out.
Yeah, for sure. What a lot of people don't see is the girls in the front office that process all our orders. So Erica that you met a minute ago, but Shauna's right beside her. And then Sierra that handles all, making sure actually everything gets shipped to you, everything gets ordered from other companies, or everything gets taken care of. So
keep all the boys in line.
Yeah, the emails might say they're coming from me, but they are not coming from me. They're coming from the girls.
We have a process here. If customer calls in and orders it, and it goes in a database from the time the order hits back there, they produce it, it's shipped to powder coat, comes back, shipping ships it. It's all tracked. Client can call in and go, hey, just checking on this, that, and another, and one of those girls can immediately tell him exactly what's going on with the problem.
And then answering the phones, you've got Logan and Boone. Those dudes are always answering any questions, man. And I hear them just as much as taking orders. I hear them just answering people's questions. People that just want to learn stuff like, hey, man, on my X3, it's doing this, and like helping them troubleshoot. Like my guys just dude, they're always answering the phone.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you're talking about too, is like they're out there doing it, right? So they know, like they literally know what the product does, or they learn it from some of the racing stuff.
Dude, and they're around there. People like Tewksbury, that dude can freaking tear some stuff up. So like he's made our cars better, or like Logan's like, man, we need to do this to your car. We need to add this to your build sheet, not just for like Ryan Tewksbury, but for other people that are calling in. It's like, man, I don't know how to build a Texplex car.
Yeah.
Logan has built so many turnkey desert cars, King of the Hammers cars, short course cars, that literally you can call Logan and say, hey, man, I don't know how to get into this. I have this budget. Can you set me up? And Logan's like, yeah, dude, I know exactly what you need to optimize your money.
If you do A, you have to do B and C or whatever it is.
Or if you say, man, I've got a $10,000 budget, I've got a $50,000 budget, whatever, Logan's like, all right, I will get you the very most and the most competitive car for your budget. If your budget's $5,000, Logan's going to tell you, you need to spend your money on this, this, and this. So, man, those dudes just absolutely kill it. And then what a lot of people don't see, and he's off camera right now, he's talked to the mic a couple times, is Josh. Like, if it wasn't for Josh, we would be the best stuff that nobody knows about. And so Josh handles he owns a media company with us, and so he does all the videos, all the edits. He did Division's Victory from the very beginning. He does tons of our social media contents. All the little nonsense that I post on my stuff, Josh does. And so he produces the podcast. Like, dude, Josh is the unsung hero, because we would just have the best guys, the best parts, the best race cars that nobody knows about if it wasn't for Josh putting out content.
Dude, I can't take all that credit. I mean, Chris Mashburn is a huge part on making sure all that stuff makes it down the road.
You should just be like Dustin and take all the credit for all the wins. I mean, just be like, dude, it's me. I freaking knock it out
tomorrow. Like, you don't have to see Hunter for a while. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Chris Ashburn, you can't. I got to go check, make sure he still works here.
Yeah.
Because he's so quiet, but phenomenally talented, unbelievable young man.
So those are all like the teamwork just makes the dream work, and hopefully you guys really enjoy the shop tour that Dustin was able to give us earlier. It shows some of the talented individuals. I mean, you have Cody Taylor back there designing parts. You have all of the talented fabricators that we got to meet today, and not one of them was shy or disrespectful. They all had a smile on their face and were ready to go at a moment's notice. I mean, most people get pissed off when I put a camera in their face. All these guys were like, hey, you know what? I forgot what his name was that was welding over there. He goes, you know what? I'm going to be on video. Let me go grab some safety glasses first. You know what I mean? I was like, that's the best answer I've heard all day.
Yeah, I'm proud of those guys, man, because there's so many more back there. Anthony that runs the fab shop, Cody, and Luke that are designers that design the sick parts, man.
But the unsung heroes are the guys in the shop that actually crank these parts out.
Cord that coordinates the custom car builds and the chassis builds, man. Philip that builds our cages. Chris that helped build this short course car.
Who are those two dudes that were shipping boxes? Because honestly, I've never seen hands move so fast in my life.
Yeah, dude, our shipping department kills it, man. Dylan is a guy that we've had for a few years.
Dude, he packed up a box that was probably this big in a matter of like maybe 30 seconds, like with parts. Wrapped it up, all that. I was like, holy smokes.
Well, I came out here and worked beside him on nights when we were way behind on shipping, and like I'm trying to package and I'm watching him. I'm like, dude, how do you do this? How do you do it so fast and so good, man? So just
he's a prime example. He came in here, had never done shipping, but I have a high school education.
Yeah.
Okay. But I taught myself business.
Yep.
Law, taxes, da-da-da-da. And Dylan did the same thing.
Yeah.
He came in here, he'd go home every night and research the proper way to ship, so forth and so on. And he's became indispensable at this point.
For sure. Great employee.
He is the bomb back here at shipping.
Ultimately, man, we've been fortunate enough to surround ourselves with people that are hardworking, that are dedicated, that care about what they do. You know, if it wasn't for those guys, man, we would be scrambling around here just trying to keep it open.
Yeah, Ryan Tewksbury saying the same thing. Just surround yourself with the best people, right? And it makes your business the best as well. So, all right, so kind of going a little bit more forward then. You guys have a good operating business. You guys are doing some really cool stuff. Is there any stuff on the, in the pipeline or in the future that's coming out that the audience would be interested to know about? Because you just mentioned the Pro R stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. Which we're always getting new cars. We just released a bunch of Honda parts. You showed Eddie's Double E's race car, so we're just fixing to start releasing our short course full built chassis for the Honda. Kawasaki parts, we released a bunch of those. The big thing for us, man, is you saw it earlier on Mr. Miles Jeep, is we just released our own line of Jeep parts that we build here in house. So that's front winch bumper, rear bumper, rock sliders with built-in rock lights, like some of the trip pulling. He's running our bumpers. Joey Beck, he's running our bumper and our bumpers and sliders. Like,
And Mr. Miles out there testing parts for you.
man,
Just
testing
killing
parts, all just
he's literally killing his
beating
Jeep.
on them. Yeah, beating on them.
Yeah, well, you saw it.
Yeah.
It came
Bro-
back from King of the Hammer.
No,
Broke
yeah.
a joint on his axle.
Yeah.
He does that on his own. That's not because he tested our parts. He does that on his own. He's just hard on equipment.
Hey, what do we need for the Jeep? Okay, Mr. Mal broke it. We got to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeep parts, man, that's a huge thing for us. You saw our new warehouse we just built. Humongous warehouse out there.
About 12,000 square feet.
I'm excited for you guys. That place looked cool, dude.
We've been so fortunate. Well, first of all, we're going to just burn down some pit bike laps in there before we fill it up. You know what I mean?
Insta bangers.
Yeah, we're
Get
going to
Josh over there with his camera.
We're going to do that in
Actually,
there.
right, we were looking at buying this place. I had the key, and I just got that Commander X.
Yeah.
And we come over here, and there was nothing in that shop. And so, man,
Except a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
One refrigerator.
Yeah, there was a refrigerator. And so we're just drifting around in here. 4 or 5 of us?
2 of us. Just me and you.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I misjudged that last turn and took out the refrigerator, knocked a hole in the wall. So I ended up having to buy it.
If it's not on video, it never happened.
Yeah, it never
Dude,
happened.
he literally full drift around that huge shop in there, doing probably 30 inside this building, full drift, clipped
In a side by side?
Oh, yeah. Clipped the refrigerator with his rear tire, sent the refrigerator through the office wall
Oh my God! Seriously?
behind where the cubicles are now, blowed the refrigerator through the wall, and he was like, well, guess I'm buying this building.
That is hilarious.
No
man.
exaggeration, dude.
Yeah.
That legitimately happened.
So when Dustin goes over there, he's like, "Yep,
Well,
I could definitely work with this guy."
Yeah. That was before we was all in. That was when we were working out of a one bay shop over there just across the street.
Oh,
And we were just looking at this place, and we were looking at a couple more. Blew the refrigerator through the office wall. He's like, well, guess I'm going to buy it.
That's so wild, man. All right, so let's do like to wind down the show a little bit. We got some rapid fire questions. You probably answered a few of these, but we're gonna have some Mr. Mal some of these too. So before we go, though, I'd like to know like who's been some of your guys' best supporters, not just the people that sponsor the race team, but customers that have given new builds or anything that just comes to mind off the top of your head. Because when you go to sleep at night, you got to really count your blessings, so to speak, right? You just be like, man, we are at a point in our business where it's successful and we have so many supporters. We have so many good customers now. Like, are there any things that that come to mind when you're in that position, before you go to bed, being like, thank goodness?
What, for me, and we pass them around the office, but it's emails we get from customer reviews. Those come in constantly. Man, he's called in, had a problem, they took care of it, or just a multiple gambit of things.
I think Mr. Mal nailed it, man. What people don't realize is some of the private messages I get through social media and some of the emails like Logan gets or Shauna gets or Erica gets up at the front office. Literally me, Mr. Mal, Miss Linda, and everybody in the office, even some of the fab guys that have computers and have emails set up, we send it through our whole company. So anytime somebody sends a nice message to us, if it's like, hey, man, y'all did an awesome job getting my parts out. The communication was great. Thank you for being we literally send it to every employee in the company that has
well deserved
to just say, guys, awesome job. This is the feedback we're getting. So that's what, like Mr. Mal said, immediately that comes to mind of, man, just, I know we're appearance-wise, or like perception is we've got all this stuff going on and all the racing and winning the Mint 400 3 times. I don't know if you knew that. 3 times. Like we've got all Miller's racing our chassis, like all this stuff going on. People don't recognize how nice it is to get a little bit of words of affirmation from people just in casual passing.
But that's 90% of your life, though, right? I mean, you sit here and you support this business and you support the people that are working in the business and you support the customers that are buying the products. I mean, we do see all the great stuff on social media about all these things that you're talking about, but the real enjoyment has to come from being the person that you are on a daily basis, which is what you're getting back and the feedback that you're receiving.
It's like, me and Dustin meet at least once a day. when I'm here.
Yeah.
And we may just BS about whatever, but at the end of the day, it's about being yourself.
Right.
Remember where you came from, because you can always end up in that spot
Dude,
again.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
because you got a little fame and a little money and business is good, that can all disappear tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
And, so,
you have to be the guy that you want to be at the end when you don't have anything left.
Say about you, good, bad, indifferent, especially the haters. That was probably one of the hardest lessons I had to teach you.
Yeah. That's actually a good lesson to bring up, though, because let's just say that there is somebody listening to this episode, and maybe they're starting their own little UTV company, maybe their UTV business that they're buying parts from you guys and selling it or whatever it is. Don't ever get discouraged, because if somebody comes at you with negative connotations or comments or whatever it is, even the dirt life receives all kinds of backlash, right? Like, oh, you're doing this and you got this and whatever it is. And I go, dude, you know what? That's fine. I just respect everybody that appreciates what's going on around me, because if they don't anymore and that gets taken away, I will feel like I haven't done them justice. But right now, I'm doing the same thing, and I take so much respect in the people that send us messages that we're doing a good job. Like, so the haters actually give fuel to the fire, so I understand that we're doing a good job.
Our deal with haters is do not touch it.
Yeah.
Let it die. Because the moment you chime in on it, here we go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now it's in social media, it's in print, it's out in the air. And the best thing to do with haters, if you have a problem with a product, please pick the phone up and call us.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Because you'll rectify the situation.
Of course.
Immediately.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple of things that I've learned along the way. A lot of it from Mr. Mal about that is, I'm big on self-evaluation and figuring out how I can be better every single day. So I don't put any weight or value on people that are haters of mine, and it's grown more and more over the past couple of years as we've been in the spotlight. But
because you hold yourself accountable already.
Yes, but I do read what they put. I evaluate it, and I see if there's any validity to it, or if I can take something from that, and the next person that would have been my hater for me, if there's something I can change about me to where I have zero.
Got it.
Where I get my hater zero. So if dude's like, man, you're so arrogant in your podium speeches. I try not to be. But if I was perceived as that, I go back and I watch that speech and I say, like, where did I give that perception? Sometimes I didn't give that perception at all. I'm just like, okay, this guy's just trying to get a jab in.
Right, but if it's something that you can fix,
then I'm going to fix it every time. So I don't just throw away those comments. Just say, I'm not even reading that.
So I will tell you, that statement right there makes me so happy to hear, because that doesn't just mean that you're a good person. Those qualities go to be the Mint 400 champion, because you live your life by that, to be a better racer, a better employee with Mr. Mal, a better business person, a better person in general with anything that you do. And that's probably stuff that you've learned from him.
Of course.
That's so cool, man.
So there's no...
I was taught that.
Yeah.
That's the way I was brought up.
I'm so glad that you guys are bringing this stuff up. I know it's not necessarily dirt related, but these things are such good qualities for anybody that's watching the show in life, and then to make yourself a better racer or a better person at all, because you're holding yourself accountable and you're reaching and furthering yourself as a person.
So I don't let those guys affect me and my happiness.
Right.
But I do evaluate what they say. I consider it, and I see if I can make sure that doesn't happen again.
So good, man.
And second to that, man, one thing that I always like to
Hunter says he hates your hair, Dustin.
That's okay. You know what, Hunter? I know, Hunter, you're just being a hater, dog. There's nothing wrong with his hair, and it's as perfect as it be. You're just being a hater, so I'm not cutting it if that's what you're getting at. The other thing that's always been big to me is kids that I run into. And a lot of their parents say, we love that our kids can watch your social media, can watch y'all's videos, and we don't even consider if they're going to see something inappropriate that they shouldn't see.
Yeah. Well, it's because you already have your child of your own. His name's Gunner, but you're letting Ryan Edwards.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan Edwards for taking care of my kid and not making me pay child support.
I've actually, where my grandkids go to school, I was walking out, and this young man. Matter of fact, his name's Hunter. They live next door to us now, but his dad owned a big store here in town, and he was on the phone with granddad. I walked past the young man, and he goes, "Hey, Mr. Mal," and he's 6. And so we start talking, and he watches Visions of Victory, and
Oh, cool.
and his granddad kind of gets off the phone, looks at me funny. I said, "He watches Visions of Victory." "Oh, that's y'all?" I said, "Yeah, that's us."
Yeah.
I need to bring him by the shop. We'll give him.
But
Those things mean a lot to them.
shop.
for sure.
Yes.
And it's important. I've always thought to take time with kids at the races to acknowledge them, to tell them congratulations, tell them they're doing a good job. Because one day I was that kid, and I was just dreaming of being who I am now. And so I try to be a good steward of the opportunities that I'm given.
Yeah, 100%. Our Boynton, I think, or Boynton, says, "Thank you for building a great car, still racing and winning in Hunter Miller's GNCC final car."
My man, that's what I'm saying. Those chassis are still getting around, dude.
Dude, solid, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. More than you know, buddy. I appreciate you taking time to.
Yeah, there you go. There's one of the things that makes you happy, right? Good job for giving us some positive influence. But that is really cool, and I want to end the show on a good note, because to me, that's what everything is about. Like, life is literally about that, because if all of a sudden this stuff was taken away, like what Mr. Mal said, you still can rest highly on your morals and your laurels, right? Like, you still have that. It's such a good way to operate life, so I'm really proud of you guys for doing that, and I know that the customers definitely appreciate it too. All right, Mr. Mal, are you ready for some of these rapid-fire questions?
Okay.
They're good ones, though. Hey, we ain't
Y'all
got.
bear with me.
All right, so you want Mr. Mal to go first? You want to go second, Dustin?
Yes, sir.
All right, rapid fire question number 1: tacos or hot dogs?
Tacos.
You going tacos? What kind of tacos you getting?
Carnitas.
Oh,
Yeah, look at Mr. Mal here getting really with it. Carl, how about you, Dustin?
Tacos for sure. Yeah, I'm going the honeycomb ones. We always call them the honeycomb ones. It's the ones they cook by the fire and they freaking scrape it up.
Yeah.
What is it called, Joe?
El Pastor.
Yeah, El Pastor.
Like.
It's pork.
El Pastor.
Yeah, got you, Pastor.
El Pastor. Dude, those ones are so good. Tacos El Poblano down in San Vicente. If you ever
I don't even know what you just said. I couldn't understand none of
Take
that.
it one step further, though. El Pastor tacos or hot dog on a stick.
Ooh.
I don't understand this whole hot dog on a stick thing.
Is it at a mud ride or is it in just general public?
Oh, no, it's got to be at a mud ride.
Oh, hot dog on a stick every time. Hot dog on a stick.
If mustard's involved,
Give me a little bit of a description. Like, is it like a big sausage or like what is it?
Just the girthiest sausage you can imagine on
it's a sausage.
on
And
the
you
end
just
of a stick.
Dip it in something and then you just eat it?
I
Yes.
do mustard.
Yes.
Good God, man.
Well, if you're really on pro level, you put mustard into like a napkin and you roll it in there, so every bite has mustard from top to bottom.
Oh, you're going all the way around?
All the way around, top to bottom.
Holy
That's a pro level move. You don't know nothing about it yet.
This does sound pretty pro level. All right, actually, this is a question we usually have: dunes or the river, but let's go with dunes, the river, or is it called the mud? Is that what we should say?
Yeah.
Dunes, the river, or the mud?
God, can I pick two? I mean,
It sounds like Mr.
mud,
Mal likes
but
it all.
I like dunes.
If you got to go tomorrow, where are you going?
Muddy bottom, mud.
There you go. All right. What about you,
That's
Dustin?
mud. It's mud. That's where I was born. That's where I was conceived. That's where I'm mud all the way.
All right. Action shots or still shots? Actually, we should let Josh answer this first. Action shots or still shots?
Action
And we're talking like
candid shots.
That's what I was about to say. Josh knows it's neither one of those for me.
Oh, really?
Josh knows though.
Yeah, action shots or still shots? I mean, like, were we talking like the nice, clean, brand new car build on a really nice, like, high resolution picture, or are we just talking the raw, nasty, coming through a sand berm or something?
Yeah,
like,
we're doing something with life, for sure.
What you got on Mr. Mal? What do you think he's got? Action or stills?
And I don't know. I want to say stills, but I don't know, because he used to like chrome back in the day. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right about that.
He's
how
all
many
feeling,
times
no
have you been
feeling.
to Pep Boys in the chrome office, Mal?
Go look at his truck.
Oh, I was all chrome, baby.
But now
I was chrome when chrome wasn't cool.
Now
Chrome
I think
never.
like that.
So have you ever met Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's got a chrome Hummer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dog, don't do this.
I mean, we're
George.
talking all chrome.
George,
everything
don't do
chrome.
This. We're finna have a chrome Jeep sitting in the parking lot. Stop right now.
Thinking I'd do that to my 911?
No, yeah, I do actually.
So if we want to take it to the next level, we might get a chrome Hummer from Mr. Mal action shot. I mean, how sick would that be?
Well, I mean, who's funding this project, George, is what I'm wondering. If you're funding the Chrome Hummer, cool, let's get some action shots.
Oh, man. I would love to be able to say I could.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, so action or still shot?
I like the action.
Yeah, the action ones are definitely good. I'm on the fence, man.
I'm a big fan, Josh said it a minute ago, of candid shots. So I like the shots when people are having fun together and they
Right.
don't know somebody's taking a picture of them.
100%. That's the way
I'm candid shots all day.
I
That's
agree
my
with that.
jam.
that's the way I've always approached the dirt life. So I appreciate that comment there. Let's see here, dunes or action shots. Oh, 3-wheeler or quad?
Oh, but dude, I'm
And how much chrome does Mr. Mal have on his?
dog?
Oh, man. I raced 3-wheelers back in the day. Yeah, I had a.
What kind of 3-wheeler are you racing?
Oh man, here we go.
I had a 250R, but a bigger jugging piston, 350R. The Ducati came out. The Honda had a 5-speed, and the Ducati came out. God, I'm dating myself.
No, I remember that. We actually had a conversation with somebody about this.
The Ducati had a 6-speed, so I had to
Upgrade?
up the size of the cylinder bore to a 350 and
Add some chrome.
redo the sprocket. Yeah, but I'd eat them Ducatis for lunch, man.
Hey, if we're going down the 3-wheeler road, we need to go ahead and get Chris Robinson on the horn.
Oh, man.
He's got one I would kill to have. Man.
He's
What
got
3-wheeler is that?
Gems.
Oh, it's a 250.
Like a 200X?
No, 250R. He's got 200X also,
Really?
but he's got a beautiful all original 250R.
My first
Beautiful.
3-wheeler was a 200X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mal's go-to is a 3-wheeler.
Yeah, clearly. We didn't
Well,
even
they
need
ride you as much as you ride them.
it. That's not what I've heard before, but I'll go with it.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. mean,
I could just see
you
Mr.
ever watch someone race a 3-wheeler?
Yeah, I could just
It
see
looked like
Mr.
you're
Mal.
on a sled
He's
hanging
got
off of it.
Yeah, he's got all his gear on, and he's like, you seen them where they have their butt cheek on the peg,
Drag
like
'em.
all the way down there?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin, what are you going with?
So I don't want to get coloring books for Christmas for the rest of my life. So I'm going quad. Okay, I'm sticking to 4 wheels.
Bike.
Yeah, I'm
on
sticking
bike.
with the bikes, not the 3-wheel bikes.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then let's change it up. Quad, like a, I don't know, a West Coast quad or like a mud quad?
Oh, mud quad. Like the
mud-
Renegades sitting up there.
Yeah,
My
dude, those
Renegades,
things are
I'm there.
crazy.
I'm there. Yeah, always.
All right, so, pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Jalapeno pop.
Nice. This is my guy right here. What are you going with,
Pizza
Dustin?
rolls all day, and I don't even put them in the oven. I like them mushy and kind of soggy from the microwave.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't disagree with that. What are you dipping them in?
Ranch? Is that even a
All day.
question?
Well, dude,
Ranch.
try it with Olive Garden Italian dressing.
Gosh, that's
Blow
such
your
a good
mind, dude.
idea.
It'll blow your
Such
mind.
a good idea. That's pro level move right there.
Yeah. Pro tip. Coffee or tea, Mr. Mal?
Coffee.
Is it sweet tea, like green tea, or what is it?
This is a discussion that everybody yells at me for. Like, I just drink regular unsweetened tea, and every single time I come to
What are you,
Texas,
the devil's child?
that's exactly the reply I get every single time. It's like something happened. Like I just
Are you
insulted
trying to
their
go
children.
blind drinking moonshine?
Yeah, by the time you get to Texas, it's a generally sweet tea.
Yeah.
Let's see, Cali Boys. I'm coming for you sooner or later in the mint.
Who said that?
Cali Boy AZ Tech.
Cali Boy AZ Tech, I swear.
Even if he wins, you're going to claim it.
Yeah, just paint your car yellow and come race me, and I don't care if you win or you don't.
All right, Mr. Mal. Or actually, did you answer coffee or tea?
I feel like I said sweet
Sweet tea?
tea. If
Okay.
it's not sweet tea, I'm going straight coffee.
And correct. I'm already condemned. So.
And I like my coffee just like I like my women. Wait, no, that didn't work for guys. It's not
Crickets?
it. Yeah, yeah, never mind. Doesn't work the same.
All right, here. Let's see here. Favorite movie, Mr. Mal?
Oh man, there's only one.
And yeah, well, you can. Only one. I was going to say you could pick two.
No, the greatest movie ever made, The Blues Brothers.
That is a good movie. All right. So, what about you, Dustin?
Talladega Nights. Every day. That's my go-to. I put it on every night before I go to bed.
I mean, I could see it.
And I go straight to the scene where he talks about pissing excellence. That's where I start Talladega Nights every
That's
time.
how you start every morning.
Every morning watching that scene. So Talladega Nights for me.
Perfect. That's how you live your life, man. All right. Sketchiest moment of 2021. Oh, wait. Let's go with this year because we're already halfway through the year.
Oh, crap.
What's your sketchiest moment of this year? I mean,
Oh,
Dustin had about 18 of them at the Man 400, but he still pulled it off.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, my sketchiest was on that Honda 125 the other day. Back in like came around.
Oh, Mr. Miles'
I
first
didn't
pit
do
bike
it.
ride.
Ford, he hopped around here for about a week and a half. I think he dislocated his hip.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys, let's preface this. You guys got mini bikes, so to speak, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then so Mr. Mal is getting wild or what?
Yeah, all
there
of
was
us.
new clover growing on the levee, and there was a turn. I should have slowed down.
All of us think we're better at riding anything than we are. And
Okay.
so, yeah, we immediately went to 12 o'clock whenever we got our pit bike. So 2 people wiped out in the parking lot.
They did, in the concrete.
Are you guys
Yes.
wearing padding at least?
Yeah, I mean, we got T-shirts on and shorts,
shorts.
so we're kind of got
A
padded
hoodie
on.
for extra protection?
Yeah, we wear our hats backwards, so that's like a DOT helmet.
I do wear a half helmet.
Yeah, Mr. Mal actually does. Miss Linda
Oh,
said
thank
if you-
goodness, man.
Yeah.
Mr. Mal keeping it safe. Safety first.
Yes.
Mr.
Safety
the
first.
thing's about like this, though.
Yeah.
It's a beanie.
This dude put a salad bowl on his head and rode. Said, Miss Linda, I'm being safe.
Okay, so the sketchiest moment of 2021 sounds like it's probably going to continue. But what's your sketchiest moment, Dustin?
Man, we definitely had some sketchy moments in the Mint 400 for sure during the races. When I'm in the car, it gets wild. So we'll walk it on the nose. But the sketchiest moment probably is me and Quentin wrecked his 950 horsepower Corvette a few weeks back, and so
Like wrecked it into what?
ran it.
one?
Yeah,
The one they just got?
yeah, we wrecked it. When I say we wrecked it, I was just
the
in the
third
car.
or fourth Corvette.
Third Corvette to wreck.
Wait a second here.
Yeah, so my boy decided he was a drift master in a fully built supercharged Z06,
Yeah.
throws it into the corner, slides it. She hits 4th gear,
So he thinks he's Von Gittin Jr.?
thinks he's VGJ.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hits 4th gear in this slide, and now the car's accelerating so hard because it's,
I mean, I feel like that's above 50 miles an hour easy.
dog, we was way above 50 miles an hour, and the car washed out, and so we blew some street signs down, blew the whole back end off the Corvette, and blew all the airbags out of the driver's side. So
Oh,
Got
my.
his truck back in?
he just got it back the other day. We wrecked that truck too,
Yeah, he wrecked it.
trying to drift it around the exit up there. But
So-
Was that when he fell asleep coming across the bridge?
oh no, it didn't hurt anything when he did that.
Oh,
when
I
he
thought he
ramped the
scratched
median.
something. Oh, okay.
The wildness just keeps escalating.
Yeah, yeah. So
And just on a funny note, I did have somebody, I'm not going to name names, tell me when I got out of the Uber that watch out for Quentin.
yeah, you got to watch out for him.
Yeah.
Because he will get a neck tattoo if that tells you anything.
You know, Quentin goes mud riding with us, and one of the main reasons is because at some point in that mud ride, he is truly going to try to kill himself.
For sure he will.
It's like when he went off that 25-foot embankment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dude, he's so
That
wild.
four-wheeler. How that didn't hurt him.
It sounds like we just need to have a podcast just with Quentin.
Yeah, he got some good stories.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just call it like In Deep with Quentin. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
See what
He's
kind of
got
stuff
some good
comes out.
stories for sure.
All right. If you guys could have one superpower, what would it be?
That's easy for me.
I mean, we're talking anything. Time travel, fly, X-ray vision. Ooh, that might be kind of nice.
Bro, that, yeah.
Time travel.
Ooh.
So you talking go back in time? You want to go forward? Like, where are you going? Forward. That's actually a good one.
I like
Because then you come.
forward.
Well, actually, what if you get trapped? You can only go forward. You can't come back.
Well, then you make the best of where you at. Go on down the road.
Ooh, that would be a hard decision to make, man.
Man. That was a
Mr.
good one.
Mal's
That was a
getting
good
brave.
heater right there. That was a good one-liner right there.
All right. What about you, Dustin? What superpower are you taking?
Yeah, I'm torn between X-ray vision and
Is it because of the mud crickets?
yeah, 100%. I want to be able to see through.
See what you're getting into?
For safety purposes, I've got to be able to see through clothes.
Dude,
you
you
know?
Safety
only
first.
see bone.
Oh, if I see through the skin all the way to the
Oh,
bottom,
it's like
I don't want-
X-ray vision?
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Bone.
No, I don't want that. Never mind. I just want to fly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm trying to fly.
Superman. Look through, just sees bone.
I thought he could see through clothes. Like I thought it was layered X-ray vision. You know what I mean?
Well, then that's your answer. Layered X-ray.
That's what I want. Layered X-ray vision, dog.
Oh, so you can tone it back and then go forward with it?
yeah.
there you go.
Oh.
This is just for my personal safety. I want to make sure nobody's curious.
So when you're around dudes, you can just turn it off.
yeah, definitely
Oh,
shut it off
absolutely.
completely.
Netflix or YouTube? Netflix is coming out with some fire stuff, but YouTube's always got the stuff that's like, I don't know, like Visions of Victory.
There you go, dog.
I would have to say I do watch. My wife is a Netflix idiot.
Yeah.
Have you seen
I
the?
actually learn a lot through YouTube.
Yeah. It's that's what everybody says. Google first and then YouTube. You go through college like that.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Yes, I have to be learning new things all the time, and I can hop on YouTube, have a college degree in it by the end of the day.
100%. Yep. Especially fixing Sprinter vans. I got my college degree in fixing Sprinter vans on YouTube.
Washing machines. Yeah, I saved myself $1,000 on that. I did. There's one little old board in there that Samsung puts in all their washing machines, and that board cost $125.
Man, instead of
Lessons to
$1,000.
save money from
There you
Mr.
go.
Mal.
There you go.
Are you going with Netflix or YouTube, Dustin?
I'm YouTube and chill all day.
YouTube and chill all day. Here we go. So kind of going on the action shots and still shots. We'll let Josh answer this first. Videos or photos, Josh?
Man, you got about another 45 minutes on this podcast. We can have this conversation.
Oh, okay. So you did show me, Dustin, that you have a few expensive cameras over there. I'm pretty jealous, but so I think he's going to probably pick videos.
100% though. He's picking videos.
All right, Mr. Mal.
It's all video.
All video all day. Mr. Mal, what are you going with, videos or photos?
Video, because the way Josh shoots stuff, it tells a story.
Yeah, stories, man.
Beginning to end. Still looks great. You can hang it on the wall, but with a video, you can tell
An entire story,
of a guy's lifetime in 30 minutes.
Or you can learn how to fix a washer on YouTube.
Yeah.
One of the two, right?
Yeah.
Wait. We got a question coming in from Cali Boy AZ Text said, forward to what future are you going to?
I don't know, multiple. Kind of like his layered X-ray.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to jump ahead a little.
Move around.
That's what my
Try things out.
That's what my
Jump ahead a
superpower would
little.
be. Have you ever seen that movie Jumper, where he can jump to those different dimensions or whatever? He's not really traveling in the future. He's just going to different places. Like that's my jam. I feel like I'd be like just
I like that
because I love exploring.
Yep.
Get to see everything. Although if I did do that, I would probably have to open up my diet a little bit to include crawfish and all of these other things.
Absolutely.
Right? Did you already answer video for Dustin?
I didn't. So this is what I'm going to tell you about this.
Oh, here we go.
I prefer video because you can go back and enjoy it and watch it. But the reason I don't prefer photos, and I've started trying to train myself to do this, is I learned several years back that when you go to places like the Grand Canyon or like out to Sand Hollow to ride and you take a picture of something on your phone, your mind doesn't retain that as much as if you just sit there and look at it and take it in. Your mind teaches yourself that, hey, I can brain dump this because I've got something to go back to and look at it. So for me, whenever we go places, I don't often take pictures of views that we are where we're at. I like to just sit there and take it in. But because we do so much with Josh, like I really like the video documentary stuff. That's mainly so I can show other people the experience.
Right.
So in a roundabout way, I guess it's video for me.
So I'm going to go halfway in between and say reels because you can include all the things. You can just have a mashup of everything.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see here. So most memorable race. Mr. Mal, you go first.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Most memorable race.
I mean, we can say anything. It doesn't even have to be in a side-by-side. Have you raced anything else?
One of them was Baja down there.
Oh, yeah.
I was co-dogging for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, we got down. We weren't too far out of La Plaza, and we're running through. Oh, God, them loops were that tall, weren't they?
Man,
and it is
man.
nighttime, and all you see are fires and everybody waving you on, and here comes some lights in the back. Got nerfed a little. We pull over. Oh, God, who was that?
Mark Burnett.
Mark Burnett passes us. And so I'm sitting there looking up, and every one of these whoops, he is casing the back of the car. And I told Dustin, I said, we're going to pass him here in a little bit.
Yep.
And sure enough, he broke that chassis in half. And around Mark we went.
Yep. Sure did. That wasn't 5 miles later.
5 miles later.
Yeah, it's crazy how much these UTVs can handle nowadays, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your most memorable race, Dustin? I mean, other than the 3 Mint 400s that you won.
So there's probably two that are really, really memorable to me. The most memorable and the most important to me was winning the Mint 400 the first time.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a defining moment for
First
our
year.
Yeah, that was a defining moment for S3 racing.
But I can see, because that solidifies it, really puts your place in the record books or in the history books, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I've done this in the side-by-side racing community.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, it was all these guys that have been doing this go, where are these guys from again?
Mhm.
I remember saying the same exact thing, Mr. Mal.
Yeah.
I was wondering the same exact thing.
Yeah. That was the most defining race for us for sure. So probably my first most memorable. Second is the year that we crashed that X3 at the Vegas
Oh,
Torino
dude, I
race.
remember that. I was so heartbroken and scared at the same time.
Yeah, man, that really made an impact for me, and I never told anybody. But a couple of years following that, it made an impact on me driving in the dust.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was involuntary and subconscious, but for 2 or 3 years after that, I couldn't drive the same in the dust.
Yeah, well, there you go, James Morgan. There's your answer, buddy. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. Favorite snack?
Favorite snack?
I mean, you're going all the way across the country in a truck. What are you eating?
Well, buddy, we need to have some Millennium ice cream. By Bluebell.
Whoa, what is this?
You've never had Bluebell ice cream?
No. Well, I don't do sugar.
Millennium
So.
ice cream?
No, I don't do sugar.
Oh.
Oh, you're in Louisiana, so you can do sugar while you're here.
Oh, man, this stuff, they only make short runs of it. You only get it every now and then.
Yeah. Bluebell's the jam.
All right, Dustin, what's your favorite snack?
So mine's kind of a moving target, and it changes
Other than
a lot.
hot dogs on a stick.
Hot dogs on a stick for sure you go to. But if I'm talking sweets right now, my go-to is the new Nerds that they released. That's the little pieces of Chewy Nerds with the little Nerds things stuck to it.
Okay, so like we just became best friends because if I did do sugar, that would be my
Bro,
jam,
that's
too.
my jam right now. So basically, they took the Nerds rope and cut it into little sections. So it's like a gummy, chewy thing in the middle with Nerds stuck to it.
My mouth is already watering.
Dude, that's
man.
my jam right now.
I should have saved this question for last because I'm getting hungry now. Let's see here. This was going to be a desert racing or short course, but let's do a mud event or a desert racing event. Mr. Mal, I kind of feel like you're leaning towards the mud, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, man.
I mean,
I really like going to the desert race, working in the pit, doing stats and that kind of stuff. Well,
there's a whole nother logistical level, right?
People have no idea.
Yeah.
It's like racing Vegas to Reno. I mean, it's a concerted effort. You've got 3 or 4 chase vehicles. Having to calculate fuel. That one year, King of the Hammers, you weren't going to take fuel, and I put my foot down, made it stop. Thank God we put fuel in it because I'd calculated.
Oh, really? You got it right.
Run out.
So that's one of the things that we always talk about too, is that it's not always the decision in the car that's the best decisions. A lot of times it's the logistical decision behind the scenes.
Certainly. That's certainly true.
That's crazy. Well, what next desert race are you going to go to, Miss Mal?
I don't know.
You have any on the schedule for
Silver
this year?
State and Vegas to Reno is next.
They all did Vegas.
But you're going to go and check it out?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet, man. All right, Dustin, what about you? Are you going mud or are you going desert racing?
So if I'm competing or I'm driving, it's desert racing 1,000% of the time. But if it's just to show up to be a part of the event, it's mud riding, because the camaraderie and the fun and like the experience in mud riding is
completely different. It sounds like
completely different.
Oh, here we go. We just had man, you got a long name. Progressive Powersports Nerd Gummy Clusters.
Yeah, he knows. My dude knows.
Guys,
that's Mike from Progressive that helped us out at Vegas to Reno last year.
Thanks very much, James. Dustin had always been awesome at all the races, so. You guys are making a mark even to other.
Dude, speaking of awesome at the races, when me and Cowboy, Dustin Henderson, Eric signed up to race dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Actually, Ryan Edwards raced with us. This dude stepped in and took my driving role because it was the day after we had won the mint and I physically couldn't race a dirt bike.
Yeah, so James stepped up, took your spot.
Dog, put it in that day. So my boy James making some laps, putting in the heat for me.
All right, what other form of racing, Mr. Mal, would you like to try?
God. Jeez, I've done.
Is the car in the background a new desert car?
No, that's the King of the Hammers car that we won the Mint 400 in just the other day.
It's a very versatile car.
Yeah, we've raced King of the Hammers in it twice. I've raced it in 3 desert races. And then this one over here is like an Evo built, big motor, big turbo play car.
It'll blow your socks off, basically.
Yeah, it'll definitely.
Thanks, Todd, over at the Evo Powersports.
Yeah, holler at your boy.
What was the question again?
What other form of racing would you like to try, Mr. Mal?
God, I've drag raced.
No, we're talking anything. You got to have something else you like. Have you ever seen those sketchy ass speedboats that they have, where the guy in the passenger seat goes like this, and they got to freaking jerk? Like those guys are freaking nuts, man.
Yes.
Like I was thinking maybe that would be cool. I want to do monster trucks like Todd will do. Come into that.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So anything. I mean, we're talking anything.
Geez, I don't know. I've done so much.
Everybody always answers F1, and I feel like that's. I mean, it's cool, but it's so boring.
F1.
I mean,
Fucking.
Have you ever
racing? It'd have to be NASCAR.
Oh, you're going NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, just you get to beat and bang and push and shove.
I mean, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those? It's mud boggers, but they have like the 60-inch tires, big old Ford trucks. Yeah.
The Florida buggies.
Have you guys done those?
No. That'd be fun.
that's popular.
That would be wild too.
Yeah, that's big in Florida.
But those guys look like if they lose it, they would just cartwheel.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sometimes they do.
All right, Dustin, what other form of racing you want to try?
Man, I'm for sure going those side cart dirt bike races.
Oh, those guys. Who's your partner? Who's the guy?
Cowboy Cerrone.
Are you guys going to switch? Can you go like driver?
Yeah, we're running half the race and then swapping. The only reason I'm not putting Dustin Henderson with me, which is my freaking co-driving homeboy, is I don't want nothing to happen to him.
Yes.
So Cowboy Cerrone is riding passenger with me, and we're sidecar dirt bike racing.
Holy smokes, that would be so wild.
That's what I'm trying to get into next.
Whew. Dude, I'm like kind of like I don't even know what to say about that.
That's where I'm at next.
All right, we got 2 more questions left. Mr. Mal, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh God, celebrity crush?
Yeah.
I don't have many crushes.
Well, I mean, other than your wife, of course. Should we have Dustin answer this one first, or is Dustin thinking about it?
I already know.
Oh, do you?
I don't know her name, but I know who it is.
Who?
The girl from Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, who is that one?
The Josh, what's that girl's name from Wolf of Wall Street?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Margot.
Yeah. God,
His mouth
dude.
crush is Raquel Welch from back in the day.
She wasn't half bad, brother.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is
They
either.
say she was the
Raquel
like
Welch.
Elvis was for
Yeah, she was
men.
beautiful. She used to
She
be
was
beautiful.
the Elvis for women. Redhead. Oh yeah, Raquel.
Well, mine's Jennifer Connelly. I say it like every time. You know, the girl from Beautiful Mind or Requiem for a Dream, because those are also both my favorite movies.
No, never even heard of that.
Yep.
Margot Robbie.
Better. Yeah, that's her name. Margot?
Margot or Margaret?
Margot Robbie. Gosh.
That's your
dog,
girl?
That is my jam, dog.
All right.
Margot Robbie. I'm sure you listen to the Dirt Life Show podcast.
Yeah, call him up.
So if you are like, man, just hit your boy up, slide in them DMs.
All right, it's the last question of the night, and I'm not going to talk about hot dog on a stick. We're giving you guys a question: chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Chips and guacamole.
French fries and ketchup.
Whoa, we got 2 different answers here. I know Dustin's already answered that on the show, but man, French fries and ketchup. What about French fries and ranch? Where are you going with that?
I would, every once in a while, you know what I mean? I just put the tip of it in some ranch. I'm not going full French fry in.
You're not going full wrap it in like you would a hot dog on a
Not
stick?
like hot dog on a stick. Not the same.
All right, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we bail out and go get something to eat?
I don't think so. I think you did a pretty solid job tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like this was a lot better than all of your previous Dirt Life shows ever.
Yeah, number 124 is the best.
For sure, this has been far better. Some of the other ones put me to sleep, like the Sierra Roma one.
Just dude,
Man.